A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Rice Chex and Wheat Chex, the bite-sized cereals in the red and white checkerboard packages, present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed Space Patrol adventure, Buzz is trying to rescue Happy from a cavern on Neptune. As he hurries toward the cadet, a strange sound echoes in the cavern.
Hap, what's that?
Just one of Polidor's tricks. He's trying to scare us with sound.
Sorry, you're only a few yards from the cadet, and I am on another planet. But what? You'll never reach him.
Commander, look out! The gate's closing!
Happy!
It's no use, Commander. You're both my prisoners.
We'll be back in a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, the Cavern of Fear.
Cadet Happy!
Yeah?
Cadet Happy!
Yeah? Who's there? Oh, smoke and rockets. It's a walking, talking totem pole.
Nope, no totem pole. Me, wearing all three of my Man from Mars totem heads, stacked one on top of the other.
Space Patroller with all these totem heads, you look about 8 feet tall.
And I could see you, and you couldn't see me. That's magic forward vision. And every totem head has it. A special secret vision place that lets you see out, but nobody see in.
Say, gang, have you got any of these king totem heads yet? They're more than 12 inches high from head to shoulders. Your identity is a complete secret. And those neat colors, red and yellow, green and black. A weird face in front with fang teeth, flop ears, and a beak-like nose. Got a fantastic face in back, too. Put it on and you're coming and going at the same time. Remember, with your totem head, you can see out, but nobody else can see in.
That's magic forward vision.
Man, oh man, it's terrific. Get a lot of totem heads, and you can be a walking, talking totem pole. Like my pal here. It's easy to get him, too. And send for yours today.
For every Man from Mars totem head you want, send a Rice Chex or Wheat Chex box top, together with your name and address and 25 cents in coin to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. Don't forget your 25 cents. That's Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. Now today's Space Patrol adventure, the Cavern of Fear. Exactly 7 minutes after the report of the robbery, Commander Corey and Cadet Happy were in Division A of the Express Office of the Paris Police Force. That anyone could successfully carry off a robbery in Division A was incredible. For 15 years, Sam Grady had observed the formal security regulations as chief agent of Division A. Observed them faithfully, but without the slightest suspicion that anyone would dare to violate them. Yet here is Sam Grady, his head still throbbing from an aching blow, face to face with the Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol, trying to explain a robbery that just couldn't happen.
All right, Grady, let's go over it once more. Everything was all right at your check-in time at 2200 hours. You came in here and opened the safe.
That's right, Commander. I took the package of Zyklon pistols out of the safe.
All right. You had the package. You closed the safe. You checked the code book.
I started out of this room to give the package to Lieutenant Briggs. As I got to the door, I heard this voice.
A voice here in the room?
Yes, it was a big boom voice.
What did the voice say? Do you recall?
Well, this doesn't make sense, but I thought it said, "Have you forgotten something?" It was a thought that might have been in my own mind at the time. I'm very conscious of security regulations, you know, so I turned back.
Did you see anyone?
Not then. But as I walked back toward the safe, I was suddenly aware of a movement behind me. It seemed like there were two men in the room, and as I turned, one of them slugged me. That's all I remembered until I heard the officer in charge standing over me, shaking me.
And by then, these men had disappeared with the Zyklon crystals.
Yes.
Well, Commander, this voice booming, It sure sounds like Polidor to me. Polidor?
He's behind several major robberies. As some means, he's able to project his voice to direct members of his gang. Whatever this device is, it enables Polidor to see and hear as well as to project his voice. Unless we grant Polidor magic powers, this device has to be planted at the scene of crime by human agents.
I don't see how any device could be hidden in here, in Division A. And yet that voice, it was so full and powerful.
I'll check behind these files, Commander. Maybe there's
Just a minute, Happy. Come here.
Yes, sir?
Set on your shoulder, that white powder.
Smoking rockets, and I just had this uniform
Wait,
cleaned.
don't brush it off. Whatever it is must have dropped in your tunic since we came in this room. Grady, I want you to come along with us to headquarters for a brainograph test.
Why, sure, Commander. I'll do anything I can to cooperate.
We'll get to the lab, have that powder in the uniform analyzed. Maybe it's a clue to Polidor, and maybe not. We won't know until we grab it, our bait.
Bait?
I'll tell you about it later. Come on, let's get to headquarters.
Far out in space, a private cruiser races away from the man-made planet Terra. Turning from the controls, the pilot tunes the spaceophone to a rarely used frequency, adjusts the scrambler circuit, and deems the signal is a signal.
Vortex aboard cruiser S-713 calling Polidor. Vortex to Polidor. Vortex calling Polidor.
Polidor here. Go ahead.
Lifeguard crystals are aboard. License is still on Terra. Take your direction.
Sure. The express alert will not be flight and biography. I was due then when it was being pressured by Commander Corey.
Oh, then Grady recovered all right?
Yes. Corey is going to give him a brainograph test. But don't worry.
What about the detectoscope weapon?
It's destroyed. We used the powder.
That'll leave Corey with another mystery on his hands.
Yes. Wojciech, you will proceed to Neptune as directed.
Sure, Polidor.
Hold the Zyklon crystals at the cavern until I contact you. Hold it or out.
In Commander Corey's central office at Space Patrol headquarters, Buzz and Happy are examining the results of the brainograph test on Sam Grady, express agent of Division A.
Well, one thing's sure. Grady wasn't in on the job.
No, everything he told us was the truth. He wasn't even guilty of carelessness.
Polidor's men had everything figured down to the last detail. Say, Commander, what about that powder on my jacket?
The lab's still working on it, but I have a preliminary report. Powder is composed of several different elements, materials that might be used in electronics equipment.
Then Polidor must have had some gadget fastened to the ceiling. The gadget he projects his voice from.
Mm-hmm. Also, it apparently acts as a viewscope and sound detector as well as a reproducer.
It sure must be a compact device. Judging from the amount of powder, the whole thing couldn't have been much larger than a coin.
Or some of the material may have been completely vaporized. Or telling the jacket was just a gas.
Yeah, but how was it destroyed?
Possibly by a vibration. And Polidor heard me tell you to search the room. He may have transmitted a frequency that disintegrated the device.
I'd sure like to know who planted it then. Say, back in Division A, you mentioned something about a trap for Polidor. How are you going to work it?
Already in operation, Pat. A group of businessmen are holding an important meeting in the green room at the Terra Hotel. Discussing a financial matter I'm sure Polidor will be very interested in. The shipment of 1 million credits to the Saturn Trust Company.
The green room? But that's supposed to be spy-proof.
Exactly. Behind the walls, floor, and ceiling is an electronic jamming device that would garble any recording or secret picture.
Even this gadget of Polidor's?
Yeah. But if Polidor succeeded in planting his gadget in the green room, it'll be working. Have the jamming device disconnected. Polidor will hear everything that goes on in that room.
How can we be sure that he heard about the meeting?
I've arranged for some carefully planted leaks. If Polidor's spy set up, he should have picked up our planted information.
1 million credit bait. That ought to lead Polidor into a trap, all right.
It's nearly 1,400 hours left. The meeting in the green room ought to be breaking up soon. When everyone leaves, you'll search the conference room.
On the top floor of the luxurious Terra Hotel, Buzz and Happy wait unobtrusively at the end of the corridor as 10 important business leaders file out of the green room. As the group steps into an elevator, Buzz touches Happy's arm.
It's clear, Hap. Come on.
Commander, I think that last man saw us. I'm pretty sure he recognized you.
I know he did, Hap. That was Nelson Kettering, chairman of the meeting. He's the only man in that group who knows we're setting a trap for Polidor. Go on in, Hap.
Hey, this is some room. And look at the size of that conference table.
I'll check this switch, and we'll search the room.
Switch?
The protective system was turned off during the meeting. To give Polidor an earful. Then when Kettering left, he turned it on.
Oh, I get it. So Polidor couldn't hear us or see us while we're searching the room.
We'll start a systematic search. We'll check every square inch of the walls and ceiling.
It'd be pretty hard to conceal anything in this room. The walls are smooth and plain.
Hap, look up at the ceiling. You see anything up there?
No, sir.
Look close, right in the center, directly over the table.
I still don't see. Oh, yeah. A small round thing. I can barely make it out.
You put one of these chairs on the table, have you? You can get a closer look.
Sure, sir.
Here, I'll give you a boost.
Something like a large button. You want me to see if I can pry it loose?
Here, take this metal box. Electronically shielded like the conference room. If you get that button down, drop it in the box.
Yes, sir.
Now hold the box right under it so the gadget will remain in a strong shielding field.
It's coming loose, Commander. I got it.
Hand me the box, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's get back to headquarters and have the lab analyze this thing. You get to headquarters, we'll have a checkmate on everybody here at the hotel who has access to the conference room.
Yeah. Might give us a lead on who planted that gadget.
Help! Help! Gentlemen, can you help me?
What's the trouble?
It's my partner. I was sent up here to help him clean one of the rooms. There he was, lying on the floor of the janitor's supply room. I'll pull.
Come on, Hap.
Must have dropped a bottle of cleaning solvent. Fumes got him. Here, right in here. See, there he is.
Wow. No wonder he passed out. That stuff burns my lungs.
I hope we're not too late.
You hold the door open. Hap, let's drag him out in the corridor where he can get some fresh air.
Yes, sir. I'll take his feet, Commander.
I ask you to hold that door open.
Get your hands up, both of you.
Uh-oh, Commander.
Isn't a ray gun rather odd equipment for a janitor to carry?
I cut the chatter. Hand over what you took out of the conference room.
What makes you think we took anything out of the room?
I watched you go in and I watched you come out. Now hand over that box. Come on, or you'll get what that guy got.
All right. Here you are.
It's being smart, Cole. Now don't try anything. I'm watching. Take a look in this box. Well, you found it, huh? Thanks, Cole. You saved me a lot of trouble. I just put this detectoscope button in my pocket.
Wait, Blanchard. Hold the button up.
Pull it over.
Well, Corey and the cadet.
They found a button in the conference room, Polidor.
Where are you now?
In the janitor's supply room of the Terra Hotel. We took care of the real janitor with the ray gun and borrowed a spare uniform from his block.
Blanchard,
Yes, Polidor.
you're on the top floor of the Terra Hotel?
Yeah.
Good. I noticed a window in the rear of the room. Use the ray gun on Corey and the cadet. Then shove them out the window. A 30-story drop, Commander. And you'll be out of my life for good.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment. A spook from outer space. Or an Indian from a reservation on Mars. Or a mystery man from another solar system. Yes, sir, Space Patroller. You could be any one of those weird characters, but you're wearing a Man from Mars totem head with Magic Forehead Vision. That's the special secret vision plate every totem head comes equipped with. So you can see out, but nobody else can see in or know who's wearing the Man from Mars totem head. And to make sure your identity is a complete secret, it's more than 12 inches high. Colors that are out of this world. Red and yellow, green and black. Remember, you see out. Nobody sees in with Magic Forehead Vision. Fantastic fun. You can have it with a Man from Mars totem head. Get one. Get as many as you like and wear them all. Stacked one on top of the other. For every totem head you want, send a rice check or wheat check boxcar, together with your name and address and 25 cents in coin to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. Don't forget your 25 cents. That's Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. Offer good only in the USA and may be withdrawn at any time. Now, back to our Space Patrol adventure, the Cavern of Fear. Buzz and Happy have been lured into a janitor's supply room on the top floor of the Terra Hotel by Blanchard, one of Polidor's confederates. Holding the Space Patrollers at gunpoint, Blanchard removed the detectoscope button from a shielded box, enabling Polidor in some remote and unknown place of security to see and hear everything in the room. Polidor has ordered Blanchard to use the ray gun on Buzz and Happy, and then thrust their unconscious forms through the window 30 floors above the street.
All right, Corey. You heard what Polidor said. I think I'll take care of you first.
You're making a mistake, Blanchard. Why should you run all the risks? Do Polidor's dirty work.
Go on, Blanchard. He's just calling. Let him have it.
Okay, Polidor. What's that?
It's just the intercom on the wall. Blanchard, look out!
I'll take that gun, Blanchard. Hey, that was a beauty, Commander.
Here's Blanchard's ray gun. Now, where's that detective scope?
Well, Blanchard had it in his left hand. It's probably clenched in his fist.
I'll get it. It's too late.
Nothing but fine powder.
Polidor set off a disintegrator impulse when he saw his boy was in a jam. Hap, I'll answer the intercom. You check on the real janitor. I think he's starting to come around. We'll take Blanchard to headquarters.
By the time Blanchard is brought into Commander Corey's office at headquarters, he has expressed himself as being willing to cooperate. He sits rubbing his bruised jaw as Buzz questions him.
Okay, Blanchard. Have you ever seen this Polidor?
No. I don't know of anybody who has.
Can you give me the names of any of Polidor's agents? You might as well tell me now, Blanchard. We can put you under the brainograph, you know.
All right, I'll tell you. I only know one of them, Pete Vorchek. I worked with him once.
Where's Vorchek now?
I don't know. He split up after a job at the express office.
Oh, the Zyklon theft.
Vorchek had his special orders. I had mine. But wait. Vorchek and I got pretty chummy. He told me a couple of things I wasn't supposed to know about the cavern.
What cavern?
It's a place on Neptune, Sector 17K. Vorchek was supposed to go to the cavern with the Zyklon.
And meet Polidor there, maybe?
Yeah, I doubt it. Nobody ever meets Polidor, except probably one or two of the higher-ups.
This cavern on Neptune, how many men are there?
Probably just Vorchek now. Polidor doesn't like the boys to get together and compare notes. Unless
what?
Unless he's got somebody in the Cavern of Fear.
Cavern of Fear?
Well, maybe Vorchek was pulling my leg. The Cavern of Fear is supposed to be a place Polidor uses to throw a scare into wise guys that get out of line. Part of the cavern is cold and damp and pitch dark. The icy water drips from the walls. Polidor had these detector scopes hidden around, and hour after hour these horrible noises boom around in the cavern. Vorchek says he's seen some pretty brave guys go nearly out of their minds.
Vorchek is there. He'll be contacted by Polidor. Blanchard, can you tell me exactly where this cavern is?
If I could see a map of Neptune, I think I could. Vorchek mentioned a couple of landmarks.
If we aren't too close, Vorchek could see the ship and warn Polidor.
Well, Commander, if one man were to be dropped off a couple miles away in a spacesuit, he might find out quite a bit.
Yes, but if you were discovered...
Well, I think I could do a little scouting without being caught, sir. Please, sir. And I could keep in contact with you in the ship on a secret frequency.
All right. But remember, you're volunteering as a scout and not as a one-man assault force. Turn Blanchard over to the guard. We'll blast off for Neptune.
In a remote, mountainous region of the planet Neptune, Pete Vorchek advances the heat regulator in a sealed-off section of a system of caverns. Then goes to a spaceophone transmitter and adjusts the controls.
Pete Vorchek at Neptune Station calling Polidor. Vorchek to Polidor.
Polidor here. I was about to call you, Vorchek.
I was beginning to think you'd forgotten about me. When do I get away from here?
I've had my hands full with Commander Corey. He captured one of my men, Blanchard.
Blanchard?
Yes, but there is no need to worry. Blanchard knows nothing that can lead Corey to me or to you. Isn't it right?
Yes. Yes, of course.
Corey, however, is getting to be a problem. He discovered one of my detectoscopes. Had his hand on it for a few minutes before I was able to destroy it. We shall have to be more careful in hiding them after this. Oh, you will remain where you are until I eliminate Corey.
But Polidor...
It won't be very long. Let me tell you. Corey doesn't know it, but pride is
Far to the east, the Terra 5 circles over the mountains of Neptune. Alone in the ship, Commander Corey sets the spaceophone receiver to a secret space patrol frequency. Anxiously, Buzz waits. And then...
That Happy calling Commander Corey aboard Terra 5.
Corey here. Go ahead, Hap.
Blanchard's tip is on the level, sir. I've located the entrance to Polidor's cavern.
Any sign of life?
Not yet. Except for the airlock in the cavern opening. It looks like any other mountain in this part of Neptune.
Don't take any chance of being seen.
I'm a good mile from the cavern, sir, hiding behind some rocks. But With these binoculars, the airlock looks only about 20 feet away.
Where you stand, how close could I land the ship without tipping off Vortech if he's in the cavern?
Well, there's a ridge to the north about 2 miles from here. If you could set down behind that, you'd be okay.
All right, Hap, I'll join you. Give me your exact location.
As Happy crouches behind the rock, watching the cavern entrance, he's unaware of the tread of heavy space boots behind him. As Happy looks northward for a glimpse of the Terra 5, a man in a spacesuit steps up behind him with blast gun in hand.
Get your hands up, Cadet, and away from the spacephone control.
Where did you come from?
The cavern over there. You were watching the wrong entrance.
You're Vortech, then.
That's right. You're waiting for Commander Corey.
Suppose you picked up our secret frequency.
Oh, no. Simpler than that. What if Polidor's men managed to plant a detectoscope in the Terra 5? Polidor heard the commander talking to you and tipped me off. Make it move.
Now, look, the commander will be landing in a few minutes, and if you know what's good
I'll
for
take
you...
care of him later. Polidor wants me to make you comfortable in the Cavern of Fear. Now start walking.
Entering the airlock, Happy is forced to walk for hundreds of yards through the winding passage of the cavern. Vortech has opened the facepiece of Happy's spacesuit, and the cadet can smell the cold, dank air of the cavern. The rocky walls glisten with a greasy wetness in the beams of Vortech's atomolite. Suddenly, Happy finds himself in total darkness and is aware that he is alone.
Hey, Vortech, where are you? Vortech, what happened to the light? Hey! Smoking rockets, a wild animal, and me in the dark without a gun. Coming closer.
Are you frightened, Cadet?
Polidor. Well, that's a relief.
A relief?
Well, sure. Now I know there's no wild animal in the cavern. That roar was just a sound effect projected here the way your voice is, by your detectoscopes.
Quite logical. However, you can be quite sure, can you?
What do you mean?
I am far away on another planet, but you can be certain just what might be in this cavern. Listen. Some animal may be creeping closer, its claws scraping the rough rocks.
Sure. Let's hear some more of your sound effects, Polidor. Put on a show for me.
You are brave now, but wait a few hours. The darkness will have its effect on your reason. Your senses will play tricks on you. Your imagination will get out of control. And for the first time in your life, you will know pure terror.
Landing the Terra 5 and not finding Happy, Commander Corey has made his way to the cavern searching for the cadet. Cautiously, he makes his way through the winding passage with the aid of an atomolite. Occasionally, from the blackness ahead come strange sounds.
Oh, shut up.
Happy! Happy, where are you?
Commander, I see your light. I'm back here.
I'm coming, Hap. What's that?
Oh, just one of Polidor's tricks. He's trying to scare us with sound.
Corey, you're only a few yards from the cadet, and I am on another planet. But watch, you'll never reach him.
Commander, look out. The gate's closing.
Happy!
It's no use, Commander. The cadet is locked behind the gate, and Vortech will see that you don't escape.
Look, Polidor, there'll be a squadron of Space Patrol ships here looking for us.
Let them come. Vortech will be gone when the Zyklons are full. And, of course, I am here in voice only.
This whole section of Neptune is being watched right now. Your man Vortech can't get through that patrol.
Thank you, Commander. He can't escape in his ship, but he can in yours.
Not unless I'm in it. The controls are locked, and only Happy and I can operate them.
Oh, well, I don't mind losing Vortech and the Zyklon if I can do away with you and the cadet. Vortech can risk being shot down by your patrol ships if he likes.
Right behind you with the blaster, Corey, so get him up.
Well, Vortech, you've been getting an earful, huh?
Yes. You're going to get me out of here, Corey.
Vortech, don't be a fool. It's a trick.
Maybe, Polidor. But I know where I stand with you now. Come on, Corey, let's go.
Just a minute. Open the gate and let the cadet out.
Let him stay in here. I can't watch both of you.
You mean you leave him here alone in this cavern?
Maybe Polidor will talk to him during his final hours. Come on, Corey, let's get out of here. You go first.
All right. That's the way you want it. Had enough? On your feet.
Sure.
Now open that gate, Vortech.
Take it easy. I was only kidding. Here's the control back of this shelf of rock.
Commander!
You okay, Hat?
Oh, yeah. Oh, great. Hey, you've got Vortena.
He's riding back with us. Too bad we can't include Polidor. Did he give you a rough time?
Oh, he sure did. I didn't mind the bats and the leopards, but one sound really had me scared. I figured I was really off my rocker.
What was it?
Well, it was so real I could almost feel it rubbing up against me, even through my spacesuit.
Rattlesnake?
No, it was... Hey, I thought I heard it again. Just now.
Look down at your feet.
It's smoking rockets. A kitten. And it's real.
Hap, don't tell me you're afraid of cats.
Oh, no, sir. Not when they're real. But these imaginary cats that aren't there, I can't stand the sight of them.
In just a moment, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure, which will be brought to you by Nestle's Quick, for the greatest tasting chocolate milk and those famous Nestle's chocolate bars.
Who is the man from Mars? Who's in that weird, spooky totem head with a face in front and another in back?
Fellas and girls, it can be you. Yes, you can have this sensational totem head with magic forehead vision. Imagine, when you wear your totem head, you can see out, but nobody can see in. That's right. Magic forehead vision works only for you. When you're in that totem head, you can fool your best friend. Even your mom won't know it's you. It's easy to get your totem head because you drink that super wonderful, extra delicious Nestle's Quick, don't you? Sure. You know Quick makes the best chocolate milk in the universe. Well, just send the lid from the can of Nestle's Quick or a tracing of the front of the label, together with your name and address and 25 cents to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. That address again, Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. You'll get your totem head too, so you can be the man from Mars. Now a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy are aboard the Terra 5, preparing to fight off an attacking robot ship.
Fire stern torpedo 1.
Fire 1.
Surely you don't think I'm aboard this robot ship, Commander?
In a few seconds, Polidor, there won't be any ship. Hey, Commander, the torpedo exploded short of the target.
The ship is protected by a force field. Our torpedoes explode when they hit the field.
That's right. You can't stop this robot ship.
It's gaining on us, sir.
If you don't act quickly, it'll ram us and blow us to bits.
Be sure to join us next week for the thrilling story, Race Against Time. Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston, produced and directed by Larry Robertson. Executive producer, Mike Jeffrey. Other players were Norman Jolly, Ken Mayer, and Bela Kovac. George Barclay speaking. Don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday for exciting adventure on Space Patrol! Space Patrol was brought to you today by Rice Chex and Wheat Chex, the bite-sized cereals in the red and white checkerboard packages. Be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol story on your local ABC television station. Consult your newspaper for time and channel. This program is broadcast to our armed forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network.
Nestle's Quick, for the greatest tasting chocolate milk, and those famous Nestle's chocolate bars present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol. In today's transcribed Space Patrol adventure, Buzz and Happy are aboard the Terra 5, preparing to fight off an attacking robot ship.
Fire stern torpedo 1.
Fire 1.
Surely you don't think I'm aboard this robot ship, Commander?
In a few seconds, Polidor, there won't be a ship. Commander, the torpedo exploded short of the target.
The ship's protected by a force field. Our torpedoes explode when they hit the field.
That's right. Keep firing if you like. You can't stop this robot ship.
It's gaining on us, sir.
If you don't act quickly, it'll ram us and blow us to bits.
We'll return in just a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, Race Against Time. Come and get it! Come and get the coolest, most refreshing, most delicious glass of chocolate milk ever. Space Patrollers, that's Nestle's Quick. There's nothing in this universe that tastes so good, mixes so fast, and cools so well. Nestle's Quick has the same terrific flavor as your favorite Nestle's chocolate bars. What smooth, velvety chocolate. And it's so easy, Quick just about makes itself. Listen, first you pour out your big frosty glass of milk, then you just drop in 2 teaspoons of Nestle's Quick. Swish it around for a second, and there it is, your Quick-Me-Up, packed with nourishment, full to the brim with cool refreshment. Just what you want in this hot weather. So be sure you get Mom to bring home the big brown and yellow can of Nestle's Quick, so you can make yourself a glass of Quick anytime you like. And remember, this is the sound of good things coming. Come and get it! Come and get your Martian totem head, too. Boy, you'd better hurry, because this offer is almost over. You can have tons of fun with your totem head because it's got magic forehead vision. You can see out, but nobody can see in. Today, send the lid or a tracing of the label from a can of Nestle's Quick, together with your name, address, and 25 cents, to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. That's Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri, and hurry! And now, today's Space Patrol adventure, Race Against Time. Commander Corey is waging a battle of wits against Polidor, the invisible mastermind behind a series of daring crimes. Although Buzz and Happy have captured several of Polidor's agents, the identity of the super criminal remains a mystery. Right now, the Commander and Cadet Happy are in the office of Neil Channing, Chief Chemist of the Solfex Products Company in Lowell City on the planet Mars. Channing's staff has just completed the laboratory analysis of a complex mixture of chemicals provided him by the Commander.
Here you are, Commander. It's as complete and detailed as we can make.
Oh, thanks, Johnny. I'll check it over now if you don't.
Oh, go ahead. Well, you'll probably notice that in most of the items, our reports merely confirm the findings of your Space Patrol security lab experts. I'm sorry we weren't able to supply much new information.
I don't expect miracles, Channing. At any rate, your independent tests cut down the margin of error. Oh, this paragraph on component 11. You've got data here that we don't have.
Well, we should have. After all, it's a product we make here at Solfex. We intend to market it under the trade name Lumaplex.
Lumaplex?
It's a synthetic mineral with several unusual properties. For one thing, it amplifies light.
Lumaplex? That's a new one on me.
Channing, I believe you said you intend to put it on the market.
Yes, it's still in the experimental stage.
Well, aren't you surprised that we should bring you a sample of it for analysis?
Not especially. It's our policy here at Solfex to let small independent researchers experiment with our new products. Why, we even have high school chemistry students on our trial and error shipping it. Pays off, too. Some of our best commercial ideas have come from out here.
Channing, did you ever hear of someone called Polidor?
Polidor? Oh, you don't mean this long-range ventriloquist who's been throwing his voice all over the solar system?
Yes. This sample of powdered chemicals is the remains of the gadget he uses to project his voice.
He calls it a detectoscope.
For the materials you found in this sample, Channing, could you construct a device that would act as a spaceophone and viewscope combined?
Some order.
You figure make it so compact that it's the size of a half-credit coin and only twice as thick.
Definitely not. I don't say it's impossible, but it's beyond the scope of our know-how here at Solfex.
Well, it's not beyond Polidor's know-how.
If you can find the man who put your Lumaplex to work, it might help us locate Polidor. To your knowledge, how many outsiders are working on Lumaplex?
At least 10 individuals are firmed. I can give you a list.
Good. I'm not overlooking the possibility that someone here at Solfex might have found out more about Lumaplex than he told his employers.
It's not a pleasant thought. I'm sure my employees are loyal, but I admit it's an angle you'll have to consider, Commander. Say, maybe it's none of my business,
But do you intend to question everybody on that list I mentioned?
Our agents will. Why?
Well, would it help you if you had a little background on these experimenters, the general direction of their research?
It certainly would.
Then Gannett's your man. Rudolph Gannett. He's an amateur astronomer, and he keeps in touch with a lot of the small fry experimenters, crackpots and all.
Would an astronomer know much about electronics and this lumaplex?
Gannett might. Remember I said he was an amateur astronomer. He was a research chemist before he retired. Now he's got a nice place outside Lowell City where he putters around making his own telescopes and all the paraphernalia that goes with them. Even molds and grinds his own lenses. Every new plastic that comes out, he makes optical tests on.
And he might be interested in work on lumaplex because of its light amplifying properties.
Mm-hmm.
Now, since we're in Lowell City, we'll have a talk with him.
Well, I'll tell you how to find his place. But I'm warning you, Commander, you'll be lucky if you can get Gannett's head out of the Milky Way long enough to talk to. His mind is usually a million light years out in space.
We'll take a chance. Thanks, Channing.
Outward bound from Terra, a private cruiser follows a vector that avoids the regular space lanes. Its pilot, Chad Keswick, keeps a wary eye on the viewscope screens as he speaks into the spaceophone.
Everything's set, Polidor. Not a hitch.
If you are sure you're not being followed, proceed to headquarters. I have another job for you. It involves Commander Corey.
Coria? I thought Janik drew that detail.
Yes, but unfortunately, an unforeseen move on Corey's part to Jennifer's schedule. I want you to dispose of Corey before 1600 hours tomorrow.
It's pretty short notice, isn't it?
Perhaps. But I want Corey out of the way when our device puts the telecommunications center out of commission.
Maybe we can figure a way to have Corey at the center when our gadget does its work.
Yes. It would give me great satisfaction for Corey to be unhinged when the entire nerve center of his precious space patrol is burned out.
The Omicron radiation would finish Corey, just like it's going to take care of everybody in the communications building.
It's a tempting thought, but an attempt to maneuver Corey into the center at exactly 1600 hours might arise his suspicions and upset our plan.
That shouldn't be hard. Corey's headquarters isn't far from communications.
No, but Corey isn't on Terra.
No, where is he?
In Lowell City. It appears to me, Tessie, that Commander Corey's unhappy face will be among the important messages that the communication center will be unable to transmit. Hold it around.
On a high hill some 60 miles from Lowell City is the home of Rudolph Gannett. It is not a spectacular residence, its only unique feature being a small dome that unmistakably identifies it as an observatory. In the library adjoining the dome, Gannett looks up from a list of names Commander Corey has just handed him.
I see you have Professor Arlington's name here.
You know him?
Oh, quite well. I don't wish to seem unkind, but you might as well cross his name off the list.
Then you don't think he's working with Lumaplex?
Playing with Lumaplex is more in Arlington's line, Commander. Please don't misunderstand me. Arlington is competent in his field. A good instructor, but not an original research man.
That's it. I think just two names as being likely to experiment with Lumaplex along the lines I mentioned. James Hollister of Jupiter and Lawrence Earhart of Nicholas City.
Yes, Commander.
Well, thank you for your help, Mr. Gannett.
Oh, you're not leaving. I was hoping to show you my observatory.
I'm sorry, but we've got to get back to Lowell City. Later, when we aren't so rushed, Happy and I'd be delighted to see you.
Well, we sure would, Mr. Gannett.
Oh, you men who search for criminals are always in a rush. That's why I like astronomy. There are no criminals in the heavens. The stars all obey the law.
Maybe that's because they're old enough to know they can't get away with disobeying the law. So long, Mr. Gannett.
Goodbye, Mr. Gannett, and thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. Goodbye, gentlemen. Tessie, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Corey and the cadet just left. Keep out of sight.
I took care of their surface car, Polidor.
Give them 10 minutes to start. Then take my car and trail them. This time we've got to make sure.
With Commander Corey at the wheel, the Space Patrol surface car moves swiftly over the deserted road to Lowell City. The many turns and grades in this stretch through the mountains keep Buzz and Happy from noticing the car following, a mile behind.
Hey, we're making good time for this kind of road.
Mm-hmm. What time is it?
Well, I've got 11:16, but my watch is slow.
All right. Cadet Happy's watch isn't correct at a split second.
Well, I noticed it at Gannett's place, sir. I checked it with his clock, and I'm a half a minute behind.
Well, an astronomer would certainly have the correct time. I don't want to take my eyes off the road, Hap. What does my watch say?
Why, well, that's funny. Yours is the same as mine. We both can't be off the same amount.
Yeah, right now, 30 seconds can't make any difference.
That's right. We'll still make Lowell City by 1200. Say, wouldn't it be a joke on Gannett, the well-ordered astronomer, if his clock was wrong?
I just happened to think an observatory would have several clocks, keeping different kinds of time. Universal star time, local star time.
Oh, sure. The clock I saw was probably on Mars sun time. Hey, Commander, our windshield is fogging up.
Fog in this dry Martian atmosphere. Something is clouding the windshield.
What's wrong with that automatic gizmo? That electronic field is supposed to repel dust and
Hap,
vapor.
I can't see. Look out the side and guide me.
Commander, you're too close to the edge. A little to the left. Hey, we're going over!
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment. Hi, Space Patroller.
Hi, Captain Tufeld.
Hey, you see you got another keen man from Mars totem head in the morning mail. How many you got now?
3 and 4 more to come. Just wait. I'm going to have the biggest totem pole in the whole universe, because I'm sending for totem heads just as fast as I can get box tops.
Smart boy. And Space Patrollers, if you haven't started your totem head collection, you better get going right now, because this terrific offer ends soon.
And you don't want to miss out on the fun you can have with these neat totem heads. Wear them over your head, and from head to shoulders, you're in disguise. A man from Mars totem head is more than 12 inches high, and every one of them has magic forehead vision.
Yes, sir, magic forehead vision. That's the special secret eye plate. You can see out, but nobody else can see in.
And when you get lots of totem heads, you can build yourself an honest-to-goodness totem pole in your room or in your backyard, like I'm doing.
Each totem head has a face in front and one in back, too. A beak-like nose, fang-like teeth, and ears that flop. And wait till you see those bright Martian colors, red and yellow, green and black.
Hurry, gang. Get your box top in your quarter and send for yours now.
Remember, Space Patrollers, this offer soon ends. So for every totem head you want, send a Rice Chex or Wheat Chex box top, together with your name and address and 25 cents in coin, to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. Don't forget your 25 cents. That's Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. This offer good only in the USA and may be withdrawn at any time. And now back to our Space Patrol adventure, Race Against Time. Buzz and Happy are in the surface car driving through a mountainous region of Mars after interviewing an amateur astronomer named Rudolph Gannett. Suddenly, the windshield of the car clouded up, and before Buzz could bring the car to a stop, it careened over the edge of an embankment. Now the car is tumbled to a stop in the soft dirt just a few feet from a straight drop-off. A moment later, another surface car rounds the bend and stops at the scene. A man gets out and ascends the slope toward the wreck. The two space patrollers lie motionless in the battered surface car. Then Happy moans and stirs. Suddenly, he's aware of a quick, firm grasp on his arm, a pressure that in 1 second tells Happy, even in his dazed condition, that Buzz wants him to remain quiet and feign unconsciousness. An instant later, the car door is yanked open.
Do they need job?
Not quite need enough, Jesse. One of them is still alive. I heard him moan.
They're both out cold. I can finish them off easy.
Keep your hands off the car. We don't want fingerprints.
Okay, Porter. I'll be careful.
When you coated the windshield, you used 2 thinner solutions. You should have crowded out instantly when I transmitted the energizing field from the observatory.
Well, it worked okay. The windshield is clear now. It looked like Corey lost control and tumbled over the cliff.
No, if he hadn't had time to slow down, he'd have gone completely down to the bottom. Anyway, Corey wouldn't be able to stop our little surprise party on Terra at 1600.
Well, look, why don't I drag him out and toss him over the ledge? It looked like they were thrown out of the car.
It's an excellent suggestion. But first, dispose of the detectoscope.
Can't you destroy it with the disintegrator impulse?
Naturally. But you don't think I want Space Patrol investigators to find the powder in the car, do you?
That's right. They'd know the wreck wasn't an accident.
Or find out that Gannett and Polydor are the same. Now, before you dispose of these two, throw the detectoscope over the leg. I'll disintegrate it in midair, and the powder will never be found. But remember, leave no clues. Be careful. Polydor out.
Okay, Polydor. Here goes. Now I'll take
there, easy right. Come on, Corey. You're going over the cliff. I'll take over from here, Tessig.
Need some help, Commander?
No. Except to carry Tessig up to his car.
Oh, he's out colder than he thought we were.
Maybe. They couldn't have passed the tickets.
No, sir. Now we know who Polidor is.
Since he disintegrated the detectascope, he doesn't know we know yet.
You sure were right when you pegged Gannett as a phony.
I'll notify Lowell City headquarters and send a couple of patrol ships to Gannett's observatory. That is, if our car space authority is. That's dead.
Maybe there's one in Tessig's car.
Yes, and also a hidden detectascope. Whether we use the spaceophone or not, Polidor will be tipped off that we're still alive.
I guess a surprise attack on his observatory is impossible.
We'll take Tessig to Lowell City. Then we'll send patrol ships to the observatory while I work on Tessig. I've got to find out what Polidor meant by a surprise party on Terra at 1600.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, it sure can't be anything good.
Remember, after we get near Tessig's car, not a word about Polidor, Tessig, or Terra. Maybe we can't keep him from seeing us with his detectascope, but we can keep him on a hot seat, worrying about what we're going to do.
After a fast and silent trip to Lowell City, Buzz dispatches 2 patrol ships to Polidor's observatory. Then, in the Space Patrol headquarters of the Mars capital, he questions Chad Tessig.
Once more, Tessig, what's Polidor planning to do on Terra at 1600?
Polidor? Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, then. Gannett. I heard the whole conversation back at the wreck. Polidor is Gannett, and you're working with him.
You've been working too hard, Commander. You're imagining things.
I'm through wasting time, Tessig. I'm giving you a brainograph test.
Excuse me, Commander.
Yes, Happy?
The patrol just reported in from the observatory.
Polidor was gone, I suppose.
Yes, and so was that small atmosphere ship we saw parked near the house. The agents are searching the place from top to bottom looking for evidence. Get anything out of Tessig?
No. The brainograph will fix that.
Oh, another thing, sir. The local lab men went over to Tessig's car. They found some more powder. Polidor had a detectascope in there, all right.
Now get this, Tessig. If anything serious happens on Terra in the next few hours, we're going to hold you personally responsible.
You can't do that. It's not fair.
Huh. Look who's talking about fairness.
Tessig, I know Polidor has planned a catastrophe for 1600 on Terra. You can help prevent it. If you don't, you'll take the consequences, and Polidor can't protect you.
All right. It's a Terra Communications Center. It's going to be put out of commission if it works.
How?
At 1600 hours, a surge of high-voltage current's going to be sent over the regular power lines. It'll burn out every bit of equipment in the place. Spacephones, viewscopes, computers, relay transmitters, recording equipment, everything.
Well, how about the voltage regulators? They'll automatically break the circuits if there's an overload.
Not with the high-frequency current we're using. It'll jump every fuse and relay you've got. That whole center will be burned out. It'll be completely useless.
Where's this device planted? What part of the building?
In Power Section 4. It's well hidden where no one could find it unless they knew it was there.
Tell me where it is and how to shut it off. I'll spaceophone instructions to Terra.
No, it's not that easy. Polidor made sure it'd be a thorough job. It'll not only burn out all the equipment, but it'll take care of every living man in the building.
How?
Omicron radiation. When that charge hits, every light in the building, whether it's turned on or off, will throw out deadly Omicron rays.
Smoking rockets.
You're going under the brainograph, Tessig. You're going to find out how to shut off that machine.
Yeah, you lick, Corey, because I don't know. You can bet that the men who installed it are scattered all over the solar system by now.
Gee, Commander, what are we going to do?
You can't do anything.
Tessig, if that machine were right in front of you, could you figure out how to shut it off?
I think so. But I'm on Mars, and the machine's on Terra.
That can be fixed. I'm taking you to Terra.
But you can't make it by 1600.
Under try. Come on, Hap. Let's get him to the ship.
With Tessig locked securely in an aft compartment, the Terra 5 roars toward Terra. For the 10th time in the past hour, Happy has recomputed their vector, weighing space against time in endless calculations.
It's going to be close. It's going to be close.
What do you figure now, Hap? What's our ETA?
15:50 and 25 seconds.
Less than 10 minutes to get from the spaceport to the communications center.
And we don't know how much time Tessig will need to shut that thing off.
We could take more acceleration, but I don't know about Tessig back there. We've got to keep him healthy and alert.
When we drag him into communications, he'll be alert enough. He'll have to be to save his own skin.
I'll increase acceleration a little. We can cut down our travel time another 5 minutes. Hap, look at the rear view scope.
A spaceship on our tail. And it's gaining on us.
That looks like trouble.
Polidor. The acceleration must be terrific.
It's probably under robot control. I'll challenge him and find out. Vanacori aboard Terra 5, calling spaceship. Now 5 DUs astern on our vector, following Space Meridian 125. Request identification. Acknowledged. Have they stand by to fire space torpedoes.
Standing by, sir. Still coming on.
Corey aboard Terra 5 to unidentified cruiser. You're on a collision course with this ship. Unless you acknowledge and change vector, you'll be fired upon.
Very well, Commander. Go ahead and fire.
It's Polidor, all right.
Polidor, we've changed vector, and your ship is still tailing us. I'm giving you one more chance.
I'm on target, sir.
Fire stern torpedo 1.
Fire 1.
Surely you don't think I'm aboard the ship, Commander?
In a few seconds, there won't be a ship. Commander, the torpedo exploded short of the target. Something must have been wrong with the proximity fuse.
No, Cadet. This ship is protected by a force field. Your cosmic torpedoes will never reach me.
Commander, can we try it again?
It'll be a waste of time. The proximity fuses react to the force field instead of to the actual hull of the ship.
That's right. Keep firing if you like. Meanwhile, this robot ship will pursue you and rend you.
If we time it right, and wait till he gets real close.
No, we'll be destroyed by our own torpedo.
Exactly. You may as well face it, Corey. You will never reach Terra. And as you probably know by now, the communication center will be destroyed at 1600 hours. In a moment, Commander, my viewscope screen will go blank. And I'll know that you and the Terra-Phi have been blasted to bits. Goodbye, Commander.
Sir, what can we do? Evasive tactics are no good. Polidor's robot keeps right on our tail.
Hap, put on a spacesuit, then shove a cosmic torpedo out of the cargo hatch. I'll cut down our acceleration.
Yes, sir, but what good will that do? The torpedo will have the same velocity as the ship. It'll stay right with us.
That's the idea. Hurry. Get that suit on. When you're ready to shove the torpedo out, signal me on your suit spaceophone. Now get going.
Happy to Commander Corey.
Go ahead, Hap.
The hatch is open. Torpedo's ready.
Have you disconnected the proximity fuse?
Yes, sir.
All right. Going to cut our acceleration. Push the torpedo out, but take it easy. It'll explode on contact.
It's clear of the ship, sir. But it's floating right along under us.
Good. The robot ship is gaining fast. Brace yourself and keep clear of that hatch. I'm blasting ahead on all rockets.
Okay, Commander.
Everything all right back there, Hap?
Yes, sir. But there was a big flash of light astern.
That was Polidor's robot ship colliding with a torpedo. When I accelerated, we pulled ahead fast and left the torpedo behind.
And the robot smacked it instead of us.
Check on Tessic before you come forward. I want him in good shape when we reach Terra.
It's 15:48 by the ship's chronometer when the Terra 5 roars to the Terra space lock. Buzz and Happy are rushed to the communications building in a surface car, holding the panic-stricken Tessic between them. A swift elevator drops them down to Power Section 4, where the infernal device is poised to hurl destructive current and deadly radiation through the huge building.
Come on, Tessic. Where is it?
It's in this room, there, behind that panel.
Get to work and shut it off.
Make it snappy. It's awful close to 1600.
There it is.
It's already started. We're too late.
It's just building up potential. It won't throw the current into the mainline until the power's up.
Well, don't just stand there. Shut it off.
Commander, I can't remember. I can't think straight. Let's get out of here.
There isn't time to get out. The only way you can save your own neck is to save everybody else. Now get to work.
I think this is the switch here.
Nothing happened.
That must be for one of the preliminary operations. Once it's underway, it can't be stopped. I can't think. I can't think. I can't think. If I turn the wrong switch, it would throw the power on ahead of time.
Tessic, you've only got a few seconds.
Quiet, Hap. Don't rattle him any more than he is.
You might as well all relax, gentlemen. There is nothing you can do.
Polidor. There's a detectoscope in here, too.
I don't suppose, Commander, you'd like to spend your final minute of existence in explaining how you avoided my robot ship. When the viewscope went blank, I thought I had you.
Think of shut up. Let me think.
Now, how can Corey make me shut up when I'm safely on board?
Polidor, tell me how to stop this machine. Please.
He's not going to tell you. You've got to do it yourself, and you've got just 10 seconds.
But, Commander...
8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
I can't
3,
2, 1. Something's gone wrong.
It's not going to go on.
Those fools. Those bungling fools. There's only one thing that could be wrong. They forgot to set the final locking switch.
The locking switch.
Which one is that?
This one, right here. But it's in position.
That's all I wanted to know.
It's off.
I don't understand. It was on before. Why didn't it work?
Happy, what time do you have?
Exactly 1600. Hey, my watch must be slow.
Polidor, if you're still listening, what time do you have?
35 seconds past 1600.
Right. By Mars local sun time. I was hoping you'd be too excited to remember there's 30 seconds difference.
But, Commander, you were counting off the seconds.
By Mars sun time. The machine was set by Universal Star time. Polidor thought his machine was out of order and obligingly told us how to fix it.
Next time, Corey, you wouldn't be so lucky.
We'll meet again soon, Polidor. And I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, Polidor. And next time, we'll fix your clock.
In just a moment, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure brought to you by Rice Chex and Wheat Chex, the bite-sized cereals in the red and white checkerboard packages.
Say, gang, are you walking around without your head?
Now, Hap, how can anybody do that?
Smoking rockets, Commander. I mean the totem head. That's the greatest thing since heads were first invented.
Oh, I get it. And Space Patrollers, you want to get one of these spooky totem heads. You can see out, but nobody can see in. You've got to act right away. There's very little time left, and when this offer ends, it'll never be made again.
Don't be without your head when it's so easy to get a totem head. You just send your name and address and 25 cents, together with the lid from a can of Nestle's Quick, or a tracing of the front of the Quick label, or a Rice Chex or Wheat Chex box top, to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri.
Got that, boys and girls? It's Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri.
Now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy are trying to get out of a huge castle on the planet Venus, where Polidor is holding them prisoners. The two Space Patrollers are struggling, trying to open a heavy door.
It's locked. But in a castle this size, there must be more doors.
The chances are Polidor has them all locked.
Yeah, by electronic control. Commander, something smells strange.
I noticed it, too.
My eyes are burning.
Gotta find Polidor and take our chances. He's filling the castle with poison gas.
Be sure to join us next week for the thrilling story, The Robot of Vortena. Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston, produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Mike Devery. Other players were Bela Kobach, Ken Mayer, Norman Jolly, and Stephen Robertson. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday for exciting action on Space Patrol. Space Patrol was brought to you today by Nestle's Quick, for the greatest tasting chocolate milk, and those famous Nestle's chocolate bars. Be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol program in your local ABC television station. Consult your newspaper for time and channel. This program is broadcast to our armed forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network. Rice Chex and Wheat Chex, the bite-sized cereals in the red and white checkerboard packages, present Space Patrol. High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol. In today's transcribed Space Patrol adventure, Buzz and Happy are trying to get out of a huge castle on the planet Venus, where Polidor is holding them prisoner. The two Space Patrollers are struggling to open a heavy door.
Oh, it's locked. But in a castle this size, there must be more doors.
The chances are Polidor has them all locked.
Yeah, by electronic control. Hey, Commander, something smells strange.
I noticed it, too.
No, my eyes are burning.
We've got to find Polidor and take our chances. He's flooding the castle with poison gas.
We'll return in just a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, The Robot of Vortena. Hi, gang. Captain Dick Tufeld and
The Man from Mars.
Reporting to you on
The Man from Mars Totem Head with Magic Forehead Vision.
And, gang, this is the very last time we can offer you this terrific totem head on Space Patrol. So you better hurry. Get your box tops and quarters in the mail right away.
Space Patrollers, this is Cadet Happy.
Alias the Man from Mars.
And Smoking Rockets, get yourself a totem head. Put it on, and you can be a man from Mars, too. With magic forehead vision and two faces, one in front and one in back. Play neat tricks on your pals with magic forehead vision. You can see them, they can't see you. Works like a pair of X-ray eyes. With those two faces, you're coming and going both at the same time. And jumpin' Jupiter, the totem head is more than 12 inches high in real Martian colors. Red and yellow, green and black. Fantastic ears, nose, teeth, and a swell pointed head. But remember, this is the last time we can offer it, so send for yours today.
Cadet Happy.
The Man from Mars.
Is right, Space Patrollers. So for every totem head, send a Rice Chex or Wheat Chex box top, together with your name and address, to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. And don't forget your 25 cents.
That's Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri.
And now today's Space Patrol adventure, the robot of Vortena. The Secretary General of the United Planets has just sent a spaceophone message from Jupiter asking Commander Corey to deliver some important documents to the Secretary's daughter, Carol. Right now, Buzz and Happy are in the Secretary General's home on the man-made planet Terra. The commander hands the sealed pouch to Carol.
Since you're going to Jupiter in your own ship, Carol, I think it'd be a good idea if I assigned a Space Patrol agent to go with you.
Surely no one but Father, you and Happy know that I'm carrying the papers, so what's to worry about?
And lately, a lot of things we thought were secrets turned out to be otherwise.
He means Polidor, Carol.
Oh, Polidor. I'm sure he's after more important information than what I'm taking to Father.
Carol, there's information in this pouch that could be worth millions of credits. And Polidor isn't the only crook who'd like to get his hands on it.
Buzz, you sound so serious.
I just want you to realize that with those papers in your ship, it's no longer a pleasure trip. It's government business.
Of course. Don't worry. I'll get them to Dad at the governor's conference. Buzz, did Father suggest a bodyguard for me?
No. If you had, there'd be one aboard your ship with no argument.
I suppose an escort would be a tip-off if this was an official trip.
Yes, it would, since you usually make space trips by yourself. That's another reason I'm not insisting. Well, Hap and I'd better be going.
Oh, do you have to?
It's getting close to 2200, Carol. Isn't that when you were planning to blast off?
Golly, Moses, I had no idea it was so late. I still have some last-minute packing to do.
Of course. Come on, Hap.
Yes, sir. Have a nice trip, Carol.
Well, thanks, Happy.
Goodbye, Carol. Be careful.
Goodbye, Buzz. And thanks.
Just a minute. Did I startle you, Miss Carlyle?
What are you doing here?
Is that any way to talk to a Space Patrol lieutenant?
You're not a Space Patrol lieutenant.
All right, so I stole the uniform. I look like a lieutenant.
Well, Lieutenant, I'll just get Commander Corey.
Stay right where you are. If you try to scream, I'll use this ray gun.
Who are you? What do you want?
Why, I'm your escort. I'm going to get aboard your ship with you at the spaceport.
You must be out of your mind. All I have to do is...
You were about to say that all you have to do is signal the guards and they'd grab you. Isn't that right? I advise you not to try it, Miss Carlyle. If anything happens to me, I have friends on Jupiter, where your father is.
You wouldn't dare harm my father.
Come, Jethro, you're wasting
Oh,
time.
what was that?
One of my friends. He's on another planet, but he can see and hear us perfectly.
Polidor.
Yes.
Jethro, take the girl and the document, and hurry.
Where's the voice coming from?
From a small device called a detectoscope. When your father had this room redecorated last week, one of the workmen installed it.
In all this time...
I've heard many interesting conversations, Miss Carlyle. Your father has such important guests.
Come, Miss Carlyle. If we're noticed at the spaceport, it'll merely appear that a Space Patrol officer is escorting the Secretary General's daughter to Jupiter.
Elsewhere, in the Coronine Mountains of Venus, hundreds of miles from the nearest city, stands the Castle of Vortena. It was built during the 25th century by a wealthy space merchant as a showplace to entertain his friends in interplanetary commerce and society. Now, 5 centuries later, it is a deserted, crumbling ruin. It is here that Jedro has brought Carol.
Here she is, Polidor.
Welcome to Vortena Castle, Miss Carlyle. Jedro, did you have any trouble?
No, but I'd better camouflage Carol's spaceship.
Yes, and later you can move it into the hangar under the mountain. Miss Carlyle, do you know who I am?
You're a criminal who calls himself Polidor.
Yes, and you are one of the few people in the universe who have met me face to face as Polidor. As Commander Corey now knows, I'm Rudolph Janet, retired research chemist and amateur astronomer.
I'm not the least interested or impressed.
Aren't you curious why you were brought here?
No.
Of course you are. By bringing you here with the documents, I have a powerful control over Commander Corey.
what you mean.
Isn't it obvious? To ensure your safety, Corey won't be quite as reckless in his efforts to capture me.
Then you're going to let him know you abducted him.
No, I'm going to lead Corey into a trap. Jedro.
Yes, Polidor.
Take Miss Carlyle's identification bracelet. See that it's delivered to Corey at the Terra headquarters according to plan.
Right.
And now, Miss Carlyle, after I lock you in your room, I'll set the stage for Corey's downfall.
Hours later, in the central office of Space Patrol headquarters on Terra, a very worried Commander Corey talks on the intercom to a security captain.
He's now 4 hours overdue at Jupiter City.
All private commercial ships have been alerted, sir, just as you ordered. So far, report negative.
I talked to the space control operator who checked her out through the airlocks last night. Her ship blasted off on schedule.
Yes, I know. I talked with the gate patrolman who saw Carol get aboard with her bodyguard.
Commander, here's...
Just a minute, Captain. Captain, what did you say about a bodyguard?
I said I checked with the gate patrol at the spaceport. I found a man who saw Carol board her ship with his space patrol lieutenant.
Carol was going alone. I didn't assign an escort.
What?
Captain, get hold of the gate guard. Get a description of that lieutenant and check with personnel and operations. Alert the officer locator section.
Yes, sir.
Hurry out. Captain, did you hear that? Yes, sir. That was one of our officers with Carol. He'll have signed out with space operations.
Unless he's gone OPWL.
No, we haven't had an off-planet without lead case in 5 years. I think that lieutenant was a phony, and a checkup will prove it.
Oh, sir, this package is for you. A private messenger brought it.
I'll look at it later. Who's it from?
It doesn't say. It's marked urgent, personal, and official business.
Open that hat. I'm getting out a special search plan on Carol.
Yes, sir. Look, and look, it's Commander. Look.
A girl's bracelet. Captain, let me see that. It's Carol's.
Yes, sir. The identification bracelet her father gave her for her birthday.
Let's see that piece of paper.
Yes, sir.
I have information that will help you locate Carol Carlisle. Through a set of circumstances, I was able to obtain this bracelet without the knowledge of her actual abductors. This puts me in a dangerous position. Still, I feel it my duty to cooperate with the Space Patrol.
Wow, does that sound phony?
There's more. If you, Commander, will land on Jupiter Moon number 6 at exactly 1900 hours Universal Star Time, I will give you what facts I have. I regret being forced to use this indirect method, but to contact you openly would cost me my life.
He just happened to find Carol's bracelet. Does he think they're going to fall for that?
Under the circumstances, there's only one thing to do. We're blasting off for Jupiter number 6.
At 1900 hours Universal Star Time, Buzz lands the Terra 5 on the airless surface of Jupiter's sixth moon, at a point directed in the anonymous message. Moments later, a small private cruiser arcs in and hovers until Buzz and Abby step out of their ship in their spacesuits unarmed. The cruiser settles slowly down to the rocky satellite and cuts rockets. For long minutes, the space patrollers wait. Then, slowly, the cruiser's hatch opens, a ladder is lowered, and Buzz and Happy stride forward.
I'll go first, Hap. Commander Corey and Cadet Happy are aboard. Show yourself.
Proceed forward.
Come on, Happy. It sure is dark. What do they light this ship with? Fireflies?
That's close enough, gentlemen. Stand right there.
Where's Carol Carlisle?
There are certain preliminaries, Commander.
Let's get through them. Close that hatch so we can open these space pieces and talk man to man.
Our conversation can best be carried on as we are, in our spacesuits.
You've got us at a disadvantage. You can see us, but we can't see you. Your note said you weren't connected with whoever abducted Carol Carlisle.
That is correct. I am not.
Then why are you wearing that one-way vision face piece? Yeah, and why the dim lights? Yes, for an innocent man, you're taking a lot of precaution.
Please, if you'll listen, you'll understand. May not approve, but you will understand. I do know the men who are holding Miss Carlisle.
Yes, and you're afraid of reprisals. You're scared. Now what?
I want to ask a favor. In exchange for certain information.
Keep talking.
I have here on this small duty desk a bundle of currency. 200,000 credits. I want you to deposit it in the Terra Bank to the account of E.J. Whitney.
Then if I promise to deposit the money, you'll tell me where to find Miss Carlisle?
Yes. Now, will you deposit the money?
Uh-huh. If you can prove that Carol is safe.
That's easy. Spacephone has been on since you came aboard. Polidor, put the girl on.
Polidor. We might have known it. Carol, this is Buzz. Can you hear me?
Yes, Buzz.
Watch what you say, all of you.
Are you all right? Have they harmed you?
No, I'm all right.
Sounds like Carol.
Buzz, this is crap. They're going to frame you. Listen.
That's enough of that.
Polidor's got Carol, but we've got you.
Is that so?
Commander, he closed the hatch. Hope that we're taking you to our ship.
You are?
Got him, Happy? I've got him. Oh! Now, Commander, you're next.
I'm going to open that face piece of yours and give you...
That's your match this time, didn't you, Corey? I'll just pick you up, slam you against the bulkhead. Just like babies. Now I'll haul you boys back aft and blast off for Venus.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment. Totem poles, and more totem poles. Tall ones, small ones, middle-sized ones. In every Space Patroller's backyard, they're going up. All of them made out of those super scary, super spooky man-from-Mars totem heads, stacked one on top of the other. Say, gang, how about yours? Have you started building your totem pole yet? Well, if not, you'd better hurry, because today is positively the last time we can offer you on Space Patrol the terrific Man-from-Mars totem head. Yes, sir, today is the last day I can tell you about the fantastic fun you can have with the Man-from-Mars totem head. And Magic Forehead Vision. That's the special secret vision plate on each totem head. When you wear it, you can see out, but nobody can see in. Colored red, yellow, green, and black, the Man-from-Mars totem head is more than 12 inches high, with a face in front and a face in back. 2 pointed ears, 4 weird eyes, a beak-like nose, and fang-like teeth. Get 1 or 2. Wear them one on top of the other. Fool your friends and scare your pals. And remember, you can see them, but they can't see you with Magic Forehead Vision. So get lots of totem heads. Stack them one on top of the other, and you have an honest-to-goodness totem pole to guard the door to your room or the gate to your backyard. But send for them right away, because today is the last time we can offer you the Man-from-Mars totem head. So for everyone you want, send a Rice Chex or Wheat Chex box top, together with your name and address, and 25 cents in coin, to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. Don't forget your 25 cents. That's Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. This offer good only in the USA and may be withdrawn at any time. And now back to our Space Patrol adventure, the robot of Vortena. Harold Carlyle has mysteriously disappeared on a space flight to Jupiter. Following instructions in an anonymous note delivered to Space Patrol headquarters on Terra, Buzz and Happy blasted off to Jupiter's 6th moon. Meeting the informer, a man whose identity was completely hidden by his spacesuit, Buzz learned that Terrell is being held captive by the super criminal Polydor. Terrell's spaceophoned warning that they were in a trap caused the Space Patrollers to attack their treacherous informer. Amazingly, Buzz and Happy were overpowered, apparently with ridiculous ease by their adversary. Right now, they've regained consciousness in a dimly lit room.
Commander, are you okay?
I'm still groggy from that slimy hell.
Lucky we had our spacesuits on. We'd have plenty of broken bones. Hey, we're not in our spacesuits now.
No, we're not in that cruiser anymore.
Stone floor, stone walls, we're on land. But what land?
Well, the immediate problem is to get out of here.
Yeah. I don't know who that guy was, but he could be the wrestling champ of the solar system. He handled both of us like we were a couple of kittens.
Well, that's what'll trap him eventually. He took the trouble to hide his face, yet he displays the one characteristic that will set him off anywhere in the universe, his incredible strength.
Yeah, but suppose he's smart and doesn't play Samson again.
If a man that could resist every temptation to show off just isn't human. Just isn't human.
Sir, somebody's coming.
Oh, so you two finally came out of it, huh? Don't try anything.
Get him. A gun in one hand and a toolbox in the other. Must be hunting for work.
Well, that's it. Have your fun while you can.
Hey, Commander, this is the fellow that was in that cruiser. I recognize his voice.
You're very clever. Come on, let's go, both of you.
Where?
Polydor wants to talk to you. Here, Cadet, you lug this tool case.
Me? I don't know whether I can. If it gives you trouble, well, I'll try it. It's not so heavy.
Out the door. You first, Cadet. Now, Corey.
Now what? Drop that gun. I'll get it, Commander.
Met your match this time, didn't you?
Oh, good rockets, Commander. You took care of him easy. But in his ship, he tossed us around like nothing.
I could tell he wasn't superhuman the way he carried that toolbox.
Say, maybe it was the spacesuit that gave him extra power. A spacesuit with muscles.
This man wasn't in that spacesuit.
But, sir, his voice. It's the same as on the chip. Somebody's coming.
Give that gun. Stand back.
Commander, look. A robot.
Shut the door.
Try to keep it out. That's no use, sir. He's stronger than both of us together.
This is what licked us before, the robot.
It's coming after us.
I'll try the ray gun, but I don't think it'll work.
Never even phased it.
Hand over the weapon, Commander.
Polidor's voice, coming out of a robot.
The gun, Commander. Or do you want the robot to take it away from you? That could be quite painful, you know.
Okay. Catch.
He caught it.
No, testing the robot's reflexes, weren't you, Corey? Like his strength, they're superhuman.
What have you done with Carol?
You are going to see her in a moment. She's in the other part of the dungeon.
Dungeon?
Of course. You're in Vortena Castle on Venus. Now, since you have knocked my friend out, the robot will escort you to Miss Carlyle's suite.
So, the robot was wearing the spacesuit. Now I don't feel so ashamed of getting licked.
Chedro was here in the castle all the time. You heard his voice through the detectoscope on the robot's head.
The robot piloted the ship from Jupiter's sixth moon here to Venus.
Yes. The robot is quite clever, provided he's controlled by a clever man. Out the door, gentlemen, and left to the corridor.
Let's go ahead.
Unbolt the door, Corey, and go in.
Captain, it's my fault you're here.
Take it easy, Carol.
Polidor didn't get rough with you, did he?
No, I'm all right, but I shouldn't have warned you.
Forget it. Happy and I would have tackled this robot anyway.
Sure.
Such an ugly, horrible thing.
Yeah, it looks better in a spacesuit.
The robot is designed for utility, not for beauty.
It's Polidor's voice.
Yeah. I'm getting used to hearing his voice boom out of walls, spaceships, and now this animated ash can. Gus here.
Gus?
The robot. If he's going to be around, he ought to have a name of his own.
That's the robot. Somehow it fits his personality.
It's time we got down to business, Corey.
Fine, but let's talk man to man, not through this mechanical monstrosity.
Yeah, and this dungeon is cold and damp and reeks of paint.
It's giving me a headache.
Fine place to put the Secretary General's daughter, in a room full of paint cans.
If you cooperate, you won't be here long. The paint, incidentally, is to be used on my spaceship. I find it necessary to change markings and identification numbers.
Don't you know that's illegal?
We're wasting time. Between the three of you, I should learn some interesting facts about the Space Patrol and government plans.
You're still wasting your time.
Remember the robot. He can be very persuasive. Corey, we'll start with the Space Patrol code system. Come, I'm waiting.
Well, this is going to take some time. I think I'll pull up a can of paint and sit down. Whoop! The lid's loose on this one.
Let me see that.
Sure. Here, Commander.
Corey, what are you going to do with that can of paint?
Black paint, not too thick, not too thin. Stand back, Carl, away from Gus.
Paint isn't going to stop this robot.
No, but it'll slow him down.
Wow. All over Gus's head and down his front.
I can't see. Confound you, Corey.
Now, I'll put the empty can over his head for good measure.
Oh, look out, Buzz. Don't let him grab you.
Cap, the robot dropped the ray gun. Get it. Let's get out of here.
Yes, sir.
Come on, Carol. Pat, pull that door shut and throw the bolt.
That was close.
I can still hear Gus stamping around in there with a can on his head. That was a great idea, Commander.
Before that robot will be any more use, pull it over, have to get the can off its head and wipe the paint off the detectoscope.
Poor Gus, just like a blind Samson.
Poor Gus, my eye. He's a walking pile driver.
Carol, do you know how to get out of this castle?
They brought me down that stairway over there.
Come on. Try the door, Hap.
It's locked.
A castle this size, there must be more doors.
Chances are Polidor has them all locked.
Yeah, by electronic control.
I was hoping to get Carol to a safe place and then search this castle till we found Polidor.
Buzz, something smells strange.
I noticed it too, sir. My eyes are burning.
Yeah. Polidor's flooding the castle with poison gas. Now we've got to find him.
Buzz, Carol, and Happy rush through the bleak corridors of the huge castle. They try door after door. All are locked. And each moment the toxic vapor becomes more and more unbearable, burning their lungs, making them gasp for breath. Right now, they're painfully groping their way down a dimly lit corridor near a winding stairway.
Even if we do run into Polidor, how are we going to handle him? I can hardly see.
He'll be in the same fix we are.
He's probably shut himself up in an airtight room waiting for the gas to finish us.
The coward. He knows we've got a gun now, so now he won't...
Happy, listen.
Somebody's up the stairs.
It's the central stairway of the castle. It goes up to the tower and down to the dungeon.
Say, if we go up, we can get away from this gas.
Look up there. About 4 flights. There are 2 of them.
They're wearing spacesuits.
Polidor and Jedro.
So that's how they're avoiding the gas.
Door up there leading outside.
Yeah, I saw a shaft of light. If they don't lock it, we can follow them and get out of here.
Look, something's wrong with one of them.
Hey, look how he's staggering around.
Maybe there's a leak in the spacesuit.
Yeah, that means that...
Look, he's falling over the railing. The other one isn't even helping him.
Stand back. He's going to drop down the stairs. Happy, you stay here with Carol. There isn't much chance he's alive, but we can't leave him there.
Sure, sir.
Listen. Someone's coming up the stairs. Carol, who else is in the castle?
I don't know. Just Jedro and Polidor, I thought.
Smoke and rockets, Commander. Look. It's Jedro.
Yeah, it's me, but don't worry, I'm not armed. Get me out of here.
Hey, wait a minute. You're here, and one of those men in the spacesuit was Polidor. Who was the other one?
The rope.
Yeah, that's the one that fell down the shaft.
How do you know?
Because Jedro made him fall. Isn't that right?
Yes. Polidor ran out of me, left me here to die, but I got this. It's one of the robot control mechanisms. Polidor had the other.
We were fighting for control of the robot. Polidor up there and you down below.
Yes.
That's why he staggered.
But why would he take the trouble to put the robot in a spacesuit?
Perhaps to confuse us in case we caught up with him.
And he figured Gus was more used to him now than Jedro.
Come on. Let's go up the stairs and out that door.
You can't. It won't open. Polidor had the only key.
Well, maybe we can break it down.
It's no use.
You mean we're locked in this castle?
Yes, Polidor thought of everything. We can't even shut off that poison gas.
Got to break that door open.
But Jedro says we can't.
Jedro, down at the bottom of the stairwell is something that might help us. The robot.
Gus? He must be smashed into 1,000 pieces.
Try that control, Jedro. Hurry.
Okay, I'll cut it on. Might work at that. See this little screen that just lit up?
Yeah, it's the robot's shadow.
Now, let's see if they'll move.
Oh, his arms are moving.
See if you can get him on his feet. Hurry, we can't hold out much longer.
Hey, it works. Gus is walking.
Once I get him started, you'll follow the railing right up the stairs.
Come on. Let's run up to the door and wait for him.
Oh, Gus is still coming.
Try the door just in case.
It's no use, sir.
I feel faint.
Keep fighting, Carol. Jedro can get any more speed out of that robot.
There he is, coming up the last flight.
He's hardly damaged at all.
It's a big dent in the helmet, but outside of that, he's all right. Stand back and give him room. Go ahead, Jedro.
Yeah, sure.
Commander, catch him.
I've got him.
Oh, what a time for him to pass out.
I've been watching him work the controls. Let's see if I can operate, Gus.
That's it. He's raising his arms.
Here goes. Keep out of the way. He's going to start swinging.
Attaboy, Gus. Give it all you've got. Hooray. Good boy, Gus. We're free.
Happy, you take care of Jedro. Take him out into the air. Come on, Carol. You'll be all right in a minute.
Oh, I'm fine now, that air.
Hey, all we got to do now is go down these steps outside the castle and... Well, come on, Jedro, on your feet.
Thanks.
Hey, Polidor. He's getting away in a spaceship.
Where's the document?
No, he hasn't got him. I sneaked him away from him and hid him.
Yeah.
Inside the robot. That's why I tried to get control of it.
What a gang of cutthroats. Polidor runs out on you. You double-cross Polidor. And it looks like the only decent guy in the outfit is Gus. Hey, Commander, did you work the robot control just then?
No, why?
Gus moved. Maybe he's got a short circuit from the fall. He's holding out his right arm.
Happy. You just paid Gus a compliment. I think he wants to shake hands.
Huh? Well, put her there, Gus.
A preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure in just a moment.
The last of the spook from outer space. The last of the walking, talking totem pole.
Yes, Space Patrollers, this is the very last time I can tell you about the fun you can have with the Man from Mars Totem Head with magic forehead vision. Wear one and you're the spook from outer space. The Totem Head is 12 inches high from head to shoulders. And with magic forehead vision, you can see out, but nobody sees in. Wear two, and you're the walking, talking totem pole. You'll really look just like an honest-to-goodness totem pole, too, because each Man from Mars totem head comes in honest-to-goodness totem colors. Red, yellow, green, and black, with honest-to-goodness looking totem ears, nose, eyes, and teeth. And man, oh man, just wait until you get yours. But you better not wait, because you've got to send for yours right away. Because this is the last time I can offer you the Man from Mars Totem Head with magic forehead vision. Now, for each one you want, send a Rice Chex or Wheat Chex box top, together with your name and address, and 25 cents in coin, to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. Don't forget your 25 cents. That's Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. And now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy, dressed as prospectors, are tramping across the great Martian desert toward Polidor's hideout.
Getting closer. That must be the hideout right over that dune.
Can't expect to sneak up on him. Surprise him. Best we can hope for is that we can get close before he recognizes us.
Uh-oh.
I see him. He sees us. Just keep walking.
Can't tell whether it's Polidor or not, but he's got a gun.
Oh, what do you want?
Our car's back in the desert about 2 miles.
That's too bad. You won't be needing it anymore.
Drop, Happy. He's got a blast gun.
Be sure to join us next week for the thrilling story, Trial by Terror, when Rice Chex and Wheat Chex again present Space Patrol. Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston, produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Mike Devery. Other players were Virginia Hewitt, Bela Kovac, and Norman Jolly. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when Rice Chex and Wheat Chex again present exciting action on Space Patrol. Be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol program on your local ABC television station. Consult your newspaper for time and channel. This program is broadcast for Armed Forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network. Rice Chex and Wheat Chex, the bite-sized cereals in the red and white checkerboard packages, present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed Space Patrol adventure, Buzz and Happy, dressed as prospectors, are tramping across the great Martian desert toward Polidor's hideout.
We're getting closer. That must be the hideout right over that dune.
We can't expect to sneak up and surprise him. The best we can hope for is that we can get close before he recognizes us.
Uh-oh.
I see him, Hap. He sees us. Just keep walking.
I can't tell whether it's Polidor or not, but he's got a gun.
Halt! What do you want?
Our car is back in the desert about 2 miles.
That's too bad. But you won't need it anymore.
Look out, Happy. He's got a blast gun.
We'll return in just a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, Trial by Terror. Gang, here's a scene I like to see in every Space Patroller's kitchen when I tune in my viewscope at breakfast time. It looks something like this. A big bowl on the table, a spoon, and next to the bowl and spoon, a red and white checkerboard package of Rice Chex. Then into the bowl goes the Rice Chex. Then cream and sugar, and sometimes fresh fruit. And now it's time to dig in. And man, oh man, oh man, digging into that bowl of Rice Chex is just like digging into a bowl full of sunshine. Golden shredded rice biscuits, triple oven toasted, till they're crisp as a cookie and 3 times as tasty. Tops for taste, you bet. Tops for size, too. Made in that modern bite-sized design for slick and easy eating. And Rice Chex is tops for get up and go. After a good, nourishing breakfast with Rice Chex, you're full of the same super-powered get up and go that Commander Corey starts off his day with. So, Space Patrollers, the next time I tune in my viewscope at breakfast time, I want to see you eating Rice Chex. And if you're a whole wheat fan, try Wheat Chex. Remember, Chex are tops 3 ways: for taste, size, and get up and go. In the red and white checkerboard packages with the big full-color picture of Commander Corey or Cadet Happy on the outside and the wonderful free Space Patrol trading card on the inside. Rice Chex, Wheat Chex. And now today's Space Patrol adventure, Trial by Terror. Commander Corey and Cadet Happy are maintaining an all-night vigil in Room 27 of the Space Patrol Security Lab. Room 27 houses an array of electronics equipment known officially as the Terra Internal Protective Alarm Coordinator, but usually referred to as the Crime Track. The complex device is connected to hundreds of key points on the man-made planet Terra, banks, government offices, and laboratories. Its sensitive detection instruments are ready to report any attempt at forced entry, unusual movement, or outbreak of fire at any of these crucial locations. For hours now, the row of viewscope screens have remained dark. Unbroken rows of small green lights indicate the system is in operation in all circuits. Bored by the uneventful hours of waiting, Happy stands up and stretches.
It looks like that tip on Polidor was false, sir. Unless he managed to break into the vault without setting off an alarm.
Not even he could do that. The vault at Tri-Planet Construction Company is equipped with nearly every known detection device.
Polidor must know that.
Yes, there's a good chance he also knows that there are 2 million credits in the vault. It's a tempting haul.
He's sure running an awful risk.
His men are. You can be sure that Polidor himself is playing it safe.
Sir, would it be all right if I skip down to the commissary for another glass of milk?
Wait till Lieutenant Callan gets back, huh?
Yes, sir. Well, I sure wouldn't want his job. Imagine having to watch these panels 6 hours a day and nothing ever happens. Uh-oh, I spoke too soon.
Check the panel hat.
Hey, it looks like that tip was on the level after all.
Now, wait a minute. That alarm isn't from the Tri-Planet vault. Their light's still green. What's the number under the red light?
49, sir.
49. That's Universal Map and Chart Company.
Polidor's mob wouldn't be pulling that job.
Hey, Lieutenant Callan, we're at the local... Perhaps something's wrong with the crime track.
Hey, there must be a short circuit. Smoke's just pouring out of the panel. Smoke and rockets, the central panel blew up.
Every circuit's dead.
Wow, with the alarm system out, every bank on Terra could be robbed.
Now get Lieutenant Callan. I'll space phone our patrol cars to close in on Tri-Planet and the map company.
Less than a mile from Space Patrol headquarters, a small surface truck pulls up to the rear of the Zenith Microfilm Laboratory building. A man leaps from the truck, grabs a large case, and enters the building. Then, taking a heavy metal bar, he scrapes it across the floor. A section of the flooring swings upward, held against the metal bar by the pull of a magnet on the underside of the trap door. Placing the case down in the opening, the man closes the trap door and walks to a spaceophone transmitter.
Graham's laser at Station 5 Terra calling Polidor. Graham's laser calling Polidor.
Polidor here. Go ahead, Slazer.
Arnig and I got the credits.
Excellent. Any trouble?
Not in the Tri-Planet vault, but we were nearly stopped by a Space Patrol surface car during the getaway. There were patrol cars all around the Tri-Planet building.
There may have been some sort of leak. But we won't worry about that now that you got the 2 million credits.
When do Harning and I blast off?
Both of you remain on Terra until further orders. Lie low for a couple of days.
Now, but Polidor, the original agreement was that we were to deliver the credits to you right away and get paid off.
You'll be running a risk if you try to take that money off of Terra now. In a day or two, I will provide a distraction.
What do you mean, distraction?
Something will happen to one of the big cities on Mars. A disaster so terrible that Corey will forget all about those 2 million credits.
Now, what's going to happen?
I want it to be a surprise. You and Harnong stay on Terra and keep out of trouble. Polidor out.
Boss and Happy have just returned to the commander's central office at Space Patrol headquarters after examining the vault at the Tri-Planet Construction Company building.
Wow. 2 million credits gone, and not a single clue. Polidor did it again?
He got away with the theft, but we'll have some clues when he tries to put that money into circulation.
What do you mean, sir? Checking the serial numbers?
That'd be difficult. The money was in fairly small bills, but they're impregnated with radioactive carbon particles. Within a few hours, every bank in the solar system will be supplied with radiation detectors.
Then when anyone passes any of that money across the counter, he'll be nabbed.
No. A Space Patrol agent will be put on his trail. The person actually passing the money might be entirely innocent. It'll take a lot of quiet investigation, but eventually we'll trace the money back to its original source, to one of Polidor's men.
That could take weeks.
Maybe months, unless Polidor's short of operating cash.
If we could only find out who tipped us off.
The lab experts had examined the damage of the crime trap in room 27. Somehow, one of Polidor's men bridged a small explosive device across one of the circuits in the main control.
Oh, right here in headquarters.
The attempt to break into the map company had just one purpose: to set off an alarm in the coordinator system. And that triggered the explosive that blew out the master control.
And prevented the alarm in the Tri-Planet vault from registering.
Right. Polidor had both jobs timed to the split second.
Well, the biggest mystery right now is who tampered with the control panel in room 27.
That part isn't a mystery, Hap. One of the maintenance men was in there yesterday.
He didn't show up for duty today, and he can't be located.
If we could only find him and give him a brainograph test.
That wouldn't help much. You know how Polidor works. His men know only their own phase of the job, nothing about anything higher up. Now get it. Corey here.
Commander, this is Special Agent Parker. Some of that Tri-Planet money's already in circulation.
Interesting. Polidor's trying to unload it fast, huh?
Yeah, tell her the terror bag was handed a 100-credit note. It was as radioactive as Madame Curie's floor mop.
Have you traced the bill?
The teller told me it was passed by a fellow that works for Zenith Microfilm Lab. His name's Harnung. Want me to follow up on it, Commander?
Find out all you can about the microfilm lab, but indirectly. Check on their employees, who owns it, and who their clients are.
Yes, sir.
Where is this outfit?
467 Orion.
Keep working undercover, Parker. I'll check on Harnung. Corey out.
Say, this Zenith outfit is really sharp. Look at their sign. An elephant never forgets. Neither does Zenith Microfilm. And it takes less space. Clever.
And below it, our clients are protected by Typac.
Hey, they're closed.
There's a light on inside.
Somebody's coming.
Keep that radiation detector out of sight. While I'm talking to this fellow, you wander around the plant.
A little private snooping, huh?
Make it obvious youthful curiosity. Walk close to their files, but be interested in their lab equipment.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, I was about to say we're closed for business, but of course that doesn't apply to the Space Patrol.
I'm looking for Mr. Harnung.
Oh, I'm Harnung. What can I do for you?
I'd like to ask you a few routine questions inside, if you don't mind.
Of course. Come in, gentlemen. Sit down. I was just checking through some orders. Got a few rush shipments I want to get out tonight.
I'll go right ahead. We can talk as you work.
Thank you.
Hey, you've sure got a lot of swell equipment here.
You better not touch anything, Happy. You might upset some delicate adjustments.
Yes, sir.
No, he can't have heard anything. Now, what was it, Commander?
You visited the Terra Bank this morning, is that right?
Yeah. On some business for the firm.
You gave the teller a 100-credit note.
Don't tell me it wasn't any good.
It was good, all right. I'd just like to know where you got it.
I'm afraid I can't tell you, Commander.
You mean you get so many 100-credit bills you can't remember?
I wish that were true. No, what I mean is I wasn't in the office when the bill came in. Perhaps Mr. Ogilvy could help you. He's our bookkeeper. I could tell you where he lives.
Oh, fine. You can give me his address later.
Say, is it all right if I go back here?
Huh? Oh, the processing lab? Yeah, of course. Make yourself at home.
Don't disturb anything, Happy.
All right, Commander.
Now, Mr. Harnung, when would this 100-credit bill have come in?
Well, I don't know. Possibly late yesterday. This morning, our petty cash was low, so I took the bill to the bank to get it changed. As I say, if you go and talk to Ogilvy...
I'll do that. I noticed you're protected by Terra Internal Alarm Coordinator Service. Do you often have material here that would tempt burglars?
Well, Commander, frankly, we don't need the service, but it looks good on our advertising. You and I know that no burglar's going to waste his time and run the risk of breaking into a place like this.
Excuse me, Commander.
Yes, Happy?
Something very interesting back in the lab.
Oh?
Well, things are really clicking.
Harnung, before you give me your bookkeeper's address, I'd like to see the rest of your plant.
Yeah, of course. Now, over here's our display room where we show the plant samples of...
I'd like to see the lab first.
There's something radioactive under the floor of the lab, sir.
Okay, Hap. Come on, Harnung. I'm sure we'll need your explanation of some of the lab equipment.
That's just like any commercial microfilm lab, Commander. Nothing you gentlemen wouldn't understand.
I never can tell. There are tricks to every trade.
Here's the spot, Commander. Listen to the detector. Now watch what happens when I put it down on the floor.
What's under this flooring, Harnung?
I don't know.
If you look close, Commander, you can make out very fine cracks in the floor in the form of a square, like a closely fitted trap door.
Yes, I see. Open it up, Harnung.
Look, I don't know what you're talking about.
By the way that detector's clicking, I'd say there's about 2 million credits worth of radioactivity under this floor.
If I can find something sharp, maybe I can pry it open, sir. Oh, I know, that metal bar. Hey, that's funny. It was right over here under the window, on top of a packing case. It looked like a crowbar. Yeah, but where did it go?
Here it is, Cadet. I got Corey. Hold it. No, you don't, Harnung.
Nice going, Slazer.
You couldn't wait to dip into that 2 million credits.
How about Slazer? We were broke. How did I know?
Shut up. Take this bar and open the trapdoor. While you're loading the money in the surface car, I'll make sure that Corey and the cadet are out of the way for good.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment.
This is Dick Tufeld in St. Louis reporting on the twin-jet Air Force fighter, the McDonnell Voodoo XF-88A. In a moment, we'll hear from the noted test pilot who flies this plane, Phil Houghton. Speed of the Voodoo is a military secret, but it's plenty fast. Wingspan is 40 feet, length 55, weight 10 tons. And now, Phil Houghton recorded at Lambert Airfield.
After seeing the Voodoo, I guess you know why I like my job. There's one thing about it, though. The test pilot has to stay in good condition, get lots of sleep, and eat good, healthy food. That's why I like rice checks and wheat checks for breakfast. They've got plenty of energy in them, and they really taste swell. I think you'll like them, too.
Make sure you stay in condition the way Phil Houghton, J. Ray Donahue, Jr., and other top test pilots do. Every morning, eat a good, nourishing breakfast with rice checks or wheat checks, the cereals that are tops three ways. Tops for taste, for size, and for real get up and go. That's Chex, rice or wheat. Remember, they're tops with America's top pilots.
And now back to our Space Patrol adventure, Trial by Terror. Using a radiation detector, Buzz and Happy have discovered the hiding place of 2 million stolen credits in a microfilm laboratory used as a front by 2 members of Polidor's gang. While the Space Patrollers were busy with Harnung, the other criminal Slazer emerged from hiding and knocked out the Commander and Happy before they could defend themselves. Right now, while Harnung removes the stolen money to a surface car, Slazer grips a metal bar as Buzz dazedly raises his head.
Don't try to get up, Corey. I can make it quick and painless for you and the cadet if you don't try to put up a fight.
How much is Polidor giving you out of that 2 million credits?
And what makes you think we're working for Polidor?
I've got the money in the car. What's taking you?
Hey, quiet, you fool. Don't stand in the door bellowing. Now, what is it?
Have you finished them yet?
Have a quick push against this stack of cases. Yes, sir. When they fall, they may break that
You're
window.
a thorough job. With this much
They're rocking, sir.
Your fault.
That does it?
Hey, what good do you think that's going to do you?
Window opens into the alley. It's deserted. I realize that.
I'm just stalling. Get to work with that bar, Slazy.
Just a moment. I believe this plant's protected by Terra Internal Alarm Service.
What about it?
Oh, nothing. Except that in room 27 at Terra headquarters, a red light's flashing. In a few seconds, every patrol car in the district will be heading this way.
Slazer, he's right. Let's get out of here, quick.
Corey's bluffing. The master panel's out of commission.
We've got auxiliary units, you know. But of course, it's up to you. Polidor will be mighty grateful to you for getting rid of us at the cost of your own freedom.
Slazer, come on.
It would only take a second.
Every second counts. Throw that bar down and let's go.
All right. But there's one thing I'm going to do first. Smash this spacer pole.
That's enough. Come on.
Let's go. We'll lock him in.
Oh, that was close.
I'll give you a hand, Hap.
Oh, my head. Oh. Hey, I didn't know that master alarm panel was replaced so quickly. I'm surprised.
If it's working, I'm surprised. Slazer sure put that spacephone out of order. I'll check the dials. Maybe I can find out what frequencies they've been using. Hap, get that bar and pry open the door.
Weakened and dazed by their treatment at the hands of Slazer and Harnung, it's several minutes before Buzz and Happy can wrench open the locked door of the microfilm lab. Hailing a patrol car, Buzz spacephones an alert at the Terra spaceport. Then he and Happy speed to headquarters to supervise the hunt for Slazer and Harnung. Right now, as Happy enters the commander's office after an errand to the security lab, Buzz adjusts a spacephone receiver.
The alarm coordinator panel is working now, Commander. Gee, if they'd only finished it a few minutes sooner, our alarm from the microfilm lab would have gone through.
Well, we've had a couple of good breaks, though, Hap. 3 of Polidor's chief agents have been picked up, 2 in Saturn City and 1 on Mercury.
Great. When we give him a brain grab test, maybe we can find out where Polidor is.
I know where he is.
What?
I've been monitoring the frequencies I found jotted down by Harnung and Slazer at the microfilm lab. I intercepted a call from Polidor, and communications got a fix on it.
Where is he?
On Mars. Approximately in the center of Sector K7 on the Great Martian Desert.
Well, then what are we waiting for? Let's go.
Polidor calling Station 7 Mercury. Polidor calling Station 7 Mercury. Station 7, I assume you are listening but cannot acknowledge. Disaster Plan C is now in effect. Repeat, Disaster Plan C is now in effect. Suspend operations until after Space Patrol sounds triple red. At approximately 1500 hours. Polidor out.
What's he talking about? Triple red is our... Commander, triple red is our code for a Mars emergency.
Exactly.
We'd better notify Mars Space Patrol where Polidor
They
is.
know, Hap. Getting Polidor might be simple, but it wouldn't necessarily stop this disaster plan C of his.
It sounds as though he's getting desperate.
Right. Gotta take him by surprise. He expects us to sound a triple red at about 1,500 hours.
That would give us time to get to Mars, maybe with 2 hours to spare.
We'll need that time, Hap. Hundreds of lives, maybe thousands, depend on how we use those 2 hours.
In a skillfully camouflaged building in the great Martian desert, the master criminal Polidor counts through several huge stacks of credits, then glowers at the two men who sit silently in a corner.
You're 100 credits short of 2 million.
I explained that, Polidor. I needed money for expenses,
So you trotted right down to the Terra Bank with a radioactive 100-credit bill. I ought to cut your share in half.
But, Polidor, now we know those bills are radioactive. Otherwise, you might have circulated some yourself and got caught.
You have to admit he's right, Polidor.
What good is this money if we can't pass it?
That isn't enough, Paul. Maybe we can neutralize the radiation.
Yeah, that's true. Right now I have something more urgent to think about. The destruction of Lowell City.
What?
Lowell City?
Disaster Plan C, remember?
Well, what do we gain by that?
With a city in ruins, who is going to bother about you or me? The Space Patrol will have its hands full.
How are you going to do it?
It will be simple. Right now on Deimos, the outer moon of Mars, is a robot spaceship full of high explosives. I can control it from here, cause it to blast off, and set it on a vector that will send it crashing into Lowell City.
Isn't there some other way to save our skins, destroying a whole city?
If you think of a method as effective, I'll consider it. In the meantime, follow orders. No one must interfere with my plan to destroy Lower City. Naturally, no ships can approach without warning. But an attack by land is another matter.
What are you worried about? This place is like a fort.
Yes, and forts have been known to fall even to a few men on foot. You two are going on patrol right now.
After a swift flight to Mars, Buzz and Happy set their spaceship down in the great Martian desert, miles from Polidor's hideout. Dressed as prospectors, they cover more miles in a battered desert-going surface car. Now, their faces and hands grimy with grease and dirt to hide their identity, they trudge onward through the cold Martian twilight.
Perhaps slow down, let your shoulders slump. You'd be spotted as a space patroller from a mile away.
We're getting closer. That must be the hideout right over that dune.
Yeah, we can't expect to sneak up and surprise Polidor. The best we can hope for is to get close to him before he recognizes us.
Uh-oh. Look.
I see him, Hap. He sees us. Just keep walking.
What light there is behind him. I can't tell whether it's Polidor or not, but he's got a gun.
Halt! What do you want?
Our car is back in the desert about 2 miles.
That's too bad. But you won't need it anymore.
Drop Happy. He's got a blast gun.
I missed you on purpose. But if either of you makes a move, I'll let you have it.
It's Slazer.
Let him do all the talking.
Well. On your feet, men, and keep your hands up. That's it. I'll just take your weapons. Thanks, Commander. Now yours, Cadet. You know, Polidor will be glad to see you. And I can finish what I started back on Terra. Now get moving. Go on in.
Who are these men?
Just a couple of prospectors. Prospecting for trouble.
Oh, Corey and the cadet. You're just in time to watch the destruction of Lowell City. Lowell City?
So that's what you meant by Disaster Plan C.
Oh, so you intercepted one of my spaceophone messages. Yes, Commander. A few minutes ago, I launched a robot spaceship from the outer moon. At 1500 hours, it will crash into the heart of Lowell City. It is now 14:55.
Polidor, what can you possibly gain by a thing like that?
I'm a hunted man, Commander. Even with you out of the way, your hounds of the law will be hot on my scent.
Well, do you think raiding a city will make them stop hunting you?
No. But it will give me a breathing spell while the Space Patrol is evacuating the injured, caring for the homeless.
Why, you inhuman...
Careful, Commander. Slazer, cut on the viewscope. The large screen, if you will. Thank you. There. What you see there is the planet Mars as it looks from the nose port of a robot ship. Each second brings it closer to its target.
You've forgotten about space control. They'll detect it.
No, Cadet. In a moment, I will step into the next room where the control mechanism is. And at the proper time, I will change vector. Space control defenses will have no time to act.
Polidor, think of the helpless women and children in that city.
It is nearly time to change vector. Watch the screen, gentlemen. You will see Lower City move from the right edge to the exact center. It will grow larger and larger. And when the screen goes blank... Stop him! Stop Corey! Corey, come out of there! Open this door! Laser, you and Harnung keep an eye on the cadet.
Sure we will.
Don't move, cadet. Harnung, cut on the intercom so Corey can hear me.
Okay. Look at the screen. Corey's changing the course of the robot ship.
Hooray, Commander, you did it. You saved Lowell City. Save your cheers, cadet. Commander, can you hear me?
Yes, Polidor, I hear you.
Open this door. If I have to break it down, I'll come in there with a blast gun.
Come ahead. Now I've got a blast gun, too. Now, what are you waiting for? You're 3-1 against me.
Harnung, Snazer, one of you go and get him.
You go in, Polidor. It's your idea.
You cowards. I'll fix him. Corey, you forget that we got the cadet out here. If you want to see him alive, surrender. Come out with your hands up and empty.
Smart thinking, Polidor. That'll get him.
How about it, Corey? Are you coming out, or do we shoot the cadet?
Don't let him bluff you, Commander. After he wrecks the city, he'll get us anyway.
Now, isn't the cadet heroic?
Shut up, all of you. Well, Corey, I'm counting to 10.
While you're counting, look at the viewscope screen. What do you see?
You're heading the robot toward Mars.
That's right. Straight toward the center of Sector K7.
That's where we are. Corey, are you crazy? You blow us all up.
We gotta get in there and stop him. Change that control.
Now, listen, all of you. If I hear a shot, I'm going to smash this robot control. Nothing you can do will prevent that ship full of explosives from crashing.
Polidor, look at the screen. It's getting close. Let's get out of here.
You plan to destroy a city. That means you can't run far enough or fast enough to avoid that explosion.
Corey, listen to reason. Stop that thing. Change its course.
Not until you give Happy your weapons.
Listen. It's getting close. Polidor, give up.
Don't be fools. We got 2 million credits here, and Corey's bluffing. He won't dare let the ship crash here.
Oh, no?
It's right above us. Polidor, give up!
Yes, Polidor, surrender. I'll shoot you.
No, don't. You heard what Corey said. If he hears a shot, he'll smash the controls. All right, Corey, we'll surrender. Cadet, take our guns. Quick, please. Just drop them.
How's it going out there, Hap?
I've got him covered, Commander. Hurry.
Please.
Change vector.
You may get up off your knees now, gentlemen.
Well, I see everything's under control, huh?
Yes, except Polidor and his pals are nearly passed out from fright. It's a shame in a way.
I know what you mean, Hap. I'd hoped that...
Hey, Polidor's going for a gun!
Oh, no, he's not. Thanks, Polidor. I've been wanting to get that out of my system for a long time.
It's over. It's all over.
Good thinking. Polidor doesn't need a spaceship to fall on him. Or does he?
An action preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure in just a moment.
Say, Space Patrollers, Commander Corey's been getting a lot of fan letters lately. Got a couple of them right here. And man, oh man, you should hear all the wonderful things Space Patrollers are saying about Chex. Listen, I'll quote you a few. Love those Chex. Best tasting cereals of all. And taste real George with fruit. Super swell with milk and sugar. Here's another good one. I like Chex because they're bite-sized. Take along a pocketful most every place I go. There you have it, gang, and that's just a few. But I know that you'll all like Chex. They're the tops in cereals, tops 3 ways. For taste, size, and get up and go.
Right, Captain Tufeld. Commander Corey here, Space Patrollers. Now, I want all of you to be Rice Chex, Wheat Chex fans like I am. So try 'em. Have yourself a good, nourishing breakfast with Chex. And I'm sure you'll agree, Chex are tops in cereals.
Gang, you heard what the commander said, and he's the #1 Chex fan. So go get him today. In the red and white checkerboard packages, with the picture of the commander or Cadet Happy on the outside, and the wonderful free Space Patrol trading card inside. Rice Chex, Wheat Chex, tops 3 ways. For taste, for size, for get up and go. Now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy are trying to escape from a mysterious underworld kingdom on Mercury. Suddenly, a robed figure steps before them.
Commander, it's Varg.
There is no use resisting. You will never leave this underground city.
What's going to stop us?
The sun. The precious sunlight you surface dwellers prize so much. It is pouring down into the shafts beneath you.
What's he talking about, Commander?
The sun's heat here on Mercury is terrific. If it suddenly expands those pockets of frozen air, it'll blast these caverns wide open.
Be sure to join us next week for the thrilling story, Menace Under Mercury, when Rice Checks and Wheat Checks again present Space Patrol!
Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston, produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Helen Moser. Other players were Baylor Kovach, Norman Jolly, and Ken Mayer. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when Rice Checks and Wheat Checks present exciting action on Space Patrol! This program is broadcast to our armed forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network.
Rice Checks and Wheat Checks, the bite-sized cereals in the red and white checkerboard packages, present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol. In today's transcribed Space Patrol adventure, Buzz and Happy are approaching a hideout near the Saturn City spaceport where two criminals are plotting a getaway. Ray guns in hand, the Space Patrollers burst through the door.
All right, both of you, get your hands up.
Hold it, Barris. You heard the commander.
Move away from that table, Kent. Move fast.
Sure. Now, Corey, this is a blaster. Drop that ray gun.
Don't be a fool, Kent. You're through.
You haven't got a chance.
You fire, so will I. And remember, a blaster is permanent.
We'll return in just a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, the Counterfeit Atom. Space Patrol, it's getting kind of late, and I'm getting kind of hungry. Hey, let's take time out for a big bowl full of Rice Checks.
Swell, Captain Tufeld. Rice Checks. Tops with me.
Tops with me, too, Space Patroller, and it'll be tops with you, gang. Tops three ways. For taste, for size, for get up and go. There's one. And there's one for me. Space Patrollers, when you fill up your old bowls with those neat triple toasted shredded rice biscuits, you're getting one spoonful after another of the easiest, tastiest, bite-sized eating ever. Because Rice Checks are tops for taste and size. Tops for get up and go, too. Why, mornings after you finish off a good, nourishing breakfast with Rice Checks, you're ready to swing into action.
If you like whole wheat, try Wheat Checks. It's tops, too.
Yes, look for Rice Checks and Wheat Checks in the red and white checkerboard packages with the picture of Commander Corey or Cadet Happy on the outside.
Rice Checks.
Wheat Checks. And now today's Space Patrol adventure, the Counterfeit Atom. All over the solar system, dealers and collectors of precious stones are alarmed over the mysterious disappearance of several valuable gems. Losses have been reported by jewelers and private collectors on Earth, Mercury, and Mars. The latest victim is the Terra Gem Company. Local agents are completely baffled, so Commander Corey has personally taken over the investigation. With Cadet Happy, Buzz is in the vault of the Terra Gem Company, questioning the manager, Doran Chandre.
You're absolutely positive, Mr. Chandre, that those two diamonds are the only... But I almost wish the thieves had seen that half the world and left those two stones. They can find values more than a mean set. You used the word thieves. Couldn't the diamonds have been mislaid instead of stolen? No. I placed them in the vault myself last night.
But there's no sign that the vault was broken into. And you told us that you were here this morning when the time lock opened it.
Yes, I know. It's just very accustomed to the dealers after handling costly gems. We don't mislay stones of that value. Who besides yourself has handled those stones? Several persons. All with complete respectability, you may be sure. And always within my presence. And except when they're in the vault, the stones were never out of the sight. No. Well, that's not exactly true. I permitted 3 persons to retain them for a few hours for a private inspection, for potential buyers and dealers. Of course, they all returned the gems to me personally, and they were thoroughly tested.
To be sure that no imitations have been switched on?
Exactly. I can assure you the real gems went back into the...
The
Chandra, I want the names and a complete description of everyone who showed an interest in those stones. This case of yours follows the same pattern as the other disappearances. In the absence of clues, I have to start with the men who were interested in those diamonds.
All right, Commander. If you come into the office, I'll give you all the information. In an expensive suite at the Terra Hotel, a dignified, distinguished-looking man sits under a bright light, examining a large diamond through a magnifying glass. His companion nervously toys with a smaller stone, then finally speaks.
Let's put them away, Kent. Looking at them isn't going to make them any bigger.
This one is truly magnificent, Ferris. What a shame to have to break it up.
We'd better get off Terra. Chandra has probably discovered he's been robbed by now.
Robbed? All he can be sure of is that his diamonds have vanished. There's nothing to implicate me or you. Now that we're leaving anyway. The jeweler in Jupiter City has some gems in which I'm interested.
Kent?
Yes, Ferris, something on your mind?
I was wondering, this machine of ours, could we make just as much money by using it legitimately?
You're not suggesting that our operation is illegal.
Isn't it?
There's no law against using our equipment. Because no one but us knows it exists. So I borrow trouble. Now run along, Ferris. Get our machine aboard our spaceship. I want it ready for use when I reach Jupiter City.
Back in Space Patrol headquarters, Buzz and Happy carefully go through all the data available on the strange disappearances of jewels. After hours of checking and cross-checking, the commander points to a ruled chart.
Putting all the cases together, Hap, there are only two factors in common.
Yes, sir?
The disappearances have occurred with firms that had advertised an exhibition of a particularly valuable piece of jewelry, a famous collection.
And what's the other?
I've been checking to see if any name occurs more than once among the lists of prospective buyers. Two of the names Chandra gave me appeared twice. There's another gets taken on Mercury and Mars.
Well, that means that some of these men have shown up at more than one jewelry store.
That's to be expected. A wealthy collector might have a hobby of traveling around inspecting gems. Happy. Here's one name that appears in all the lists.
James Kent.
Kent has always asked to examine the gems privately. He's always returned them or bought them. In some cases, other persons handle the jewels after Kent gave them back to the jeweler.
Or maybe someone Kent trusts goes around with them, they get the line on the gems, and steals them later.
Except that still leaves the mystery of how the gems disappear.
But the only thing to do is have an agent follow Kent and see who hangs around him.
There's one strange thing about Kent. Possibly it's due to a faulty memory on part of the jewelers, but no two descriptions quite match.
Oh, but these jewelers must know him, or they wouldn't let him take the stones.
Kent has excellent credentials and appears to be quite wealthy. He's staying at the Terra Hotel, checking out. He has reservations on a passenger ship to Jupiter City.
Jupiter City? Hey, we're due there for an inspection. The actual crook must be a magician. All those jewelers insist the gems were locked in their vaults.
I'm going to alert the biggest jewelry firms in Jupiter City to notify Space Patrol headquarters and to let out any really valuable articles on exclusive. I'm going to install a special detecting device in the vault. All right, Hap, let's clear up this routine so we can blast off for Jupiter. 24 hours later, in one of the finest rooms of the Hotel Jupiter, James Kent and Ferris examine an array of jewels.
Interesting assortment, Ferris. However, we'll settle for the emerald necklace.
But, Kent, that doesn't make sense. It's going to take a long time to duplicate each one of those stones. The 3 big rubies are worth more. I can take them out in half an hour.
Yes, but the emeralds are smaller. I can easily dispose of them separately without cutting. The rubies would be a problem.
It's a shame to let them go.
Just take the emeralds, Ferris. Have you finished the job in 2 hours?
Yeah.
Good.
You know, Kent, I wish we could perfect that thing so it would duplicate currency. Then we wouldn't have to go through all this hocus pocus with the jewelry outfit.
Currency is too complicated. The plant fiber that's the basis of the paper is organic material. And that means a complex molecular structure.
Those coins came out very well.
Sure, but nobody ever got rich counterfeiting coins. So right now, gems are our best bets. We can transform energy into minerals and metals. With a real gem for a model, we can easily turn out exact duplicates atom by atom.
It's too bad our imitations don't last.
They last long enough for our purpose. Well, you better get going, Ferris. I want to get the counterfeit necklace and the real rubies back to the Imperial Jewelry Company before closing time.
Late that night, Buzz and Happy are at the Jupiter City Space Patrol headquarters, preparing a report on an inspection when a call comes from Special Agent Edwards, assigned to duty at the Imperial Jewelry Company. rush into the store. They're admitted by Edwards and walk through a dimly lit showroom to a huge vault.
Edwards, you're sure no one beside yourself was in the building?
No, Commander. I was hiding out in the back room at the portable receiver turned on. Somebody had lit up, so I rushed to the vault. Vault door is closed, missing. As far as I can tell, it hasn't been tampered.
Well, then what made the receiver light up?
Something must have happened inside the vault. Detectives are sensitive enough to register any slight movement or change in temperature. Transmitted the signal to Edwards' receiver. You could open the vault now, Edwards. I cut off the master time clock control at headquarters after I got your call. All right, man.
Oh, it's swinging open.
Edwards, do you have a list of the jewels that have been checked out of the store?
Yes, sir. I got it from the manager when he closed up. Everything's been returned. I watched the manager when he put them in the vault to be sure it was all correct.
Let's check it over.
All the stuff that anyone asked to inspect was all right there on that page just as you ordered, see?
All right, Edwards, let's take inventory.
Two star sapphire rings are here. Rubies, they're the most valuable items. Thank goodness they're here. Who had them out? James Kent. We also have it. The necklace.
Gone. The necklace?
Should have noticed that right away.
Who had the necklace?
Well, if the emerald necklace is gone, why not the rubies and those other jewels?
Now that we know for sure that no one entered the vault, we've really got a mystery in our hands.
Could the emeralds have just disintegrated?
Evidently they did. The detective registered their disappearance.
Oh, but why emeralds this time and diamonds another? And always the jewels that have been out on approval.
James Kent is the only constant factor in the whole problem. I don't see how he could have any more to do with this than you did.
Oh, how about that man that called on him at the Hotel Jupiter? This guy Ferris.
Ferris seems to work in a machine shop on Kepler Street. One of our agents placed him here. Well, we've got to start somewhere. Edwards, you go to the Hotel Jupiter and get a line on James Kent.
Yes, sir.
After you and I'll drive over to Kepler Street and see if we can find Ferris.
In the back part of a darkened machine shop on Kepler Street, Ferris worked swiftly under a dim light, unbolting a small, compact machine from the concrete floor. He is intent upon his work as he hears the back door open.
That you can. I'll be finished here in a minute. Then we... What's the idea?
Working pretty late, aren't you, Ferris?
Sure. Anything wrong with being industrious?
That depends on what you're being industrious about. Isn't this an odd time to be removing machinery?
Well, this is my machine, and I got a right to be in this shop. Any more questions?
Yes. When you heard us come in, you thought it was someone named Kent. James Kent?
No, Charlie Kent. One of the fellows in the shop. He promised to come back and give me a hand.
By the way, what kind of a machine is that? What does it do?
Yes, I'd like to know.
Well, it's a small electronic furnace, purifies metal. You put the sample in this chamber here. Then you turn on the current, and the induction coil around the chamber produces an intense heat inside the metal.
Commander, look out!
Pat, watch Ferris.
Kent.
Close call. Let's get this machine out of here before they recover from the ray gun blast.
So what if they come out of it before we're finished?
In that case, Ferris, well, this machine shop is a veritable treasure house of fatal accidents.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment.
This is Dick Tuthell reporting on America's most heavily armed fighter interceptor, the Northrop Air Force Scorpion F-89D. In a moment, we'll hear from the test pilot on this plane, Bob Love, Korean jet ace with a record of 6 MiGs in 6 weeks. The primary job of the Scorpion is to protect our country from invading aircraft. Speed more than 600 miles per hour. Weight 20 tons. Now, Bob Love, recorded at Edwards Air Force Base.
You know, a fella has to be in top condition to test fly a fast aircraft quick as a Scorpion. That's why I always make it a rule. Sleep well and eat well. So, for breakfast, I pick a cereal like Rice Chex or Wheat Chex. They're chock full of energy and really taste good. You'll like them.
Make sure you stay in condition the way Bob Love, Phil Houghton, and other top test pilots do. Every morning, eat a good, nourishing breakfast with Rice Chex or Wheat Chex, the cereals that are tops 3 ways. Tops for taste, for size, and for real get up and go. That's Chex, rice or wheat. Remember, they're tops with America's top pilots. And now back to our Space Patrol adventure, the Counterfeit Atom. James Kent, posing as a legitimate collector of rare gems, has stolen millions of credits worth of jewels from reputable dealers without even revealing his method of operation. Borrowing real gems, he places them in a machine that can duplicate minerals atom by atom by transforming energy into a temporary form of matter. Kent and his accomplice, Ferris, keep the original gems and return the copies, which in a short time revert back to energy. Following a thin lead, Buzz and Happy apprehend Ferris in a machine shop in Jupiter City. But James Kent takes the space patrollers by surprise and renders them unconscious with a ray gun. Right now, as the effects of the ray gun wear off, Buzz and Happy get to their feet.
Now they're gone, sir. And so's that machine.
I had no Ferris again anywhere, but never got a good look at Kent.
Neither did I. I saw him for a second as he left us, and his face was in the shadow. Say, Commander, that machine must tie in with the jewel theft. But how?
I don't know.
Maybe Kent treats the gems with something when he borrows them, and then later he turns on that machine, and radiations make the stones disappear.
The question is, do the gems reappear inside the machine?
Sounds fantastic, but... Well, unless Kent and Ferris actually got the jewels, there wouldn't be any point in them making them disappear from the vaults.
There's at least one more principle to it. But we'll go into that later. Let's get back to headquarters and send out an alert on Ferris and Kent.
The two jewel thieves are now in a private cruiser outward bound from Jupiter in a vector calculated to avoid a regular space lane.
That experience in the machine shop ought to convince you, Kent. The Space Patrol and the gem dealers are wise to us.
Not necessarily.
I still say the jewelry racket is finished. Let's take a shot at duplicating currency. Maybe it'll pass.
If you like the job of putting it in circulation, when it might vanish into thin air when you hand it to a sucker?
Yes, I see what you mean. Say, I've got it. Here's a gimmick that'll keep us inside the law. We'll duplicate ray guns, blast guns, and other weapons. They're metal, and they'll be a thief to turn out by the hundreds.
Yes, but they won't be permanent. Besides, we'd be making and selling weapons without a license. How does that keep us inside the law?
Suppose we sell a Coca blaster and furnishes. Is our customer going to complain to the Space Patrol?
Yes, you've got something. We'll have nothing to worry about.
Yeah, except Corey. If we'd only got rid of him, then we had a chance back at the machine shop.
Are you crazy? Right now, we'd be known murderers instead of suspected jewel thieves. But don't worry. I'll think of a way to get rid of Corey so no one can trace us. Yes, I've got it.
What?
Suppose we take a few grains of poison with a mineral base and duplicate it in our machine. We slip it to Corey. It does its work, and then it vanishes. The best doctor in the solar system couldn't find a trace of it.
Really? It's the perfect crime. There's just one drawback. How do we give it to Corey?
Just leave that to me. I'll attend to it personally after we get to Saturn. Now, to figure out our new identity.
As Buzz and Happy prepare to leave Jupiter, a strange spaceogram message arrives at Jupiter City headquarters, addressed to the commander. Buzz reads it, and then hands it to Happy.
Well, do you think this is on the level, sir?
Well, the situation being what it is, we'll have to investigate every lead.
But who is this Arnold Block?
He calls himself an amateur lapidary.
What's that?
A lapidary is a man who cuts and polishes precious stones.
And he says he can give you information about these mysterious disappearances.
Yeah. See here, he says, my connections with gem dealers and collectors on all the planets sometimes bring me in touch with sordid matters that usually are best ignored.
Mm-hmm. But when the very livelihood of honest craftsmen is endangered by organized thieves, I must speak out, even at personal risk.
And farther on, he says he's staying at the Hotel Polaris in Saturn City, and he'll give me the details if I meet him tonight.
Saturn? It's a long way to go for a bite to eat.
We'll do on that plane for the next inspection, so it won't be much out of the way to stop at Saturn for a couple of hours. We'll see what Arnold Block knows about this. But just as a precaution, Hap, when we reach Saturn, I want you to put on civilian clothes. While I'm with Block, you sit at another table and keep an eye on things.
Hours later, in the large dining room of the Hotel Polaris in Jupiter City, Commander Corey sits at a secluded table with Arnold Block. Anyone who had known James Kent might notice a faint resemblance, but on second glance, he would observe the greater differences in manner, color of hair, and general appearance. As the commander and Block converse over their meal, Cadet Happy, in civilian clothes, watches unobtrusively from the table across the room.
Mr. Block, You say the next job is January on the Apex Jewelry Company in Venus City. Now, how do you know that...
Excuse me, Commander. I didn't mean to say the next job. I'm sorry. I should have said it's one of their intended operations. You know who these men are? Could you identify them? Well, that would be rather difficult. You see, I was examining some marginal... Commander, isn't that the governor's Saturn just sitting up on that table over there?
There's some people in the way just now. Oh, no. Governor's lady is a much bigger man. But, to get back to our subject, Mr. Block.
Oh, my. Just noticed the time. Will you excuse me a moment? I have to make a space of my call. Important business, and I just can't put it out.
Of course, go right ahead.
It will only take a minute.
What's your signal, Commander? I was coming over and we came to drop something at the time. Somebody might be watching. I want to see us talking. Yes, sir. Black got something in the glass when you turn your head a minute ago. Think that me? Yes. I'll see everything next week. Have the call traced at the top. Look at that.
A few moments later, Arnold Block returns to the table and Buzz resumes the question. The luncheon over, the commander meets Happy in the street outside the hotel.
Block made a call all right, sir. I couldn't face it. He was in a pay booth and the others were all occupied.
I was afraid that might happen. Don't worry. I'll have the coins removed and examine them for Block's fingerprints. We'll also know the distance between them. You know the time he made it. I don't know it's down enough, so the automatic recorder at Space Event Center can help us.
Yes, but how are you going to tell which fingerprints are Block's?
I can tell you now. Those are this screen. When I get up from the table, I'll slip it in my pocket.
What do you think about Block?
I don't know. The information he gave me is general. That was in the totally know of Kent on campus.
Hey, how about that milk? You didn't drink any of it, I hope.
No. I poured milk over in a potted plant and Block was away from the table. Oh, careful. Don't touch it.
Sorry, sir.
Still the milk. I managed to slip the glass in my jacket pocket. Doesn't make a very neat ball, does it? I'm going to get it to the lab to have it analyzed.
Later that afternoon, when the office reserved for him at Space Patrol headquarters in Jupiter City, Commander Corey checks through a stack of identification cards as Happy enters.
Well, I guess I must have been imagining things, Commander.
What's the report from the lab?
Negative. There was absolutely nothing in that milk, except milk. But still, from where I sat, it looked like Arnold Block deliberately got you to look the other way and drop something in your glass. Well, I guess he was just reaching for those sugar or something.
Possibly.
Oh, about the phone call. Anything on that one?
Yes, sir. In a way, it turned out to be simpler than I expected. The Spacephone serviceman had just collected from the coin boxes an hour before, so there weren't very many coins to check. But there were no coins with Arnold Block's fingerprints.
So he didn't make a call after that. So what was he doing in the booth?
Block made a call to Draco City. Spacephone Center's automatic recorder showed it. It was the only call of that kind made from that particular spacephone during the period involved.
Who was the call to? To find out?
A perfectly legitimate call to the Draco Tour Company. They make gem cutting machines. They're doing some special work for a Mr. Arnold Block.
Then Block must be on the level. Hey, wait. How did he make that call without dropping a coin in the slot?
He did drop it. Lifting the register to half-cut coin. That mechanism is cool.
Well, yes, sir. But didn't you say there wasn't any half-credit coin in the machine? Nothing with Block's fingerprint?
That's right.
I don't get it.
I think maybe it'll all clear up when we talk to Mr. Block. I've got an agent watching him. I'll have help me check through these records.
Almost at the edge of the Saturn City spaceport is a metal fence bearing the sign Saturn Salvage Company. At the rear of the lot, scattered with heaps of rusting metal, is a small shed. Inside the structure, Ferris regulates the controls of a machine, while a man in an ill-fitting suit looks on.
It's working fine. I've turned out 3 dozen since this morning.
I'd better knock off for a while, Ferris.
Just one more, Kent.
Don't call me Kent, even when we're alone. Someday you'll make a slip in public.
Sorry, Block. Well, I guess this one is cooked enough. You know, it's hard remembering who you are. Before Kent, it was Drake, and now it's Block.
Well, you shouldn't have any trouble. As Block, I don't look anything like Kent, do I?
No, you don't. It's amazing what scissors, a hair dye job, and a sloppy suit will do for a man.
It's not just in the appearance, Ferris. It's here, in the mind. I think there's a different personality. I walk differently, move differently.
You know? Well, see if you can tell these apart. 2 black guns. One's the real thing, and the other one is a duplicate.
They're the same. They're the same. They look the same.
Which is the duplicate?
The one in your left hand. And it fires just like a real one, too. After the second, it becomes a ghost and vanishes.
I put him here with the others. Before we try to unload any of these weapons, we've got to know just how long they'll exist as matter.
That's what I'm doing now. See those figures on the bench where the guns are? When I pull one of them out of the duplicator, I mark down the time.
We'll set up a real system when we get to Neptune. We'll get a bunch of orders, then unload fast and disappear before our product does.
Yeah. Oh, have you heard anything about Corey?
No. He looks fine during lunch.
You know, those Space Patrol medics will have a real embarrassing mystery on their hands. What happened to Commander Corey?
And it's talking.
As I was saying, the Jupiter Giants don't have a chance against the Pluto Demons. Not with Edlinger pitching. And
all right, both of you, get your hands up. Hold it, Ferris. You heard the commander.
Wait on that table, Kent. Let's see those hands in the air. You sure you have the right man? Hand, block, whatever it is. Now move out here and move fast. Sure. This is a blaster, Corey. Now drop that ray gun.
Don't be a fool, Kent. You're through.
Yeah? You've got a ray gun. I've got a blaster. If you fire, so will I. We'll both drop. But I'll be able to get up again.
He's right, Commander.
The cadet's got sense. Now toss those ray guns down, and Ferris and I'll be on our way. You're not going anywhere. Corey, I haven't got time to play games. This is your last chance. I'm going to squeeze the trigger and blast you.
Commander, his gun vanished.
That's what I was waiting for.
Keep out of it, Ferris.
All right, Kent. You want some more, or do you want to quit while you're losing? Now get up. Cap, I'll watch you. You scoop up those blasters. It's your fault, Ferris. If I'd had a real gun instead of one of those duplicates...
You mean my fault? You were the one...
All right, cut it out, both of you. Okay, Corey. Where did I slip up? Was it the disguise as blocked? No, I never had a good look, actually. Kent, you got fired. And it was the poison in the milk. You saw me drop it in. No, and it wasn't the gun stealing that finally tracked you in. The thing that made me link Block and Kent was a simple, everyday spaceophone call to Draco City. What are you talking about? I made that as Block.
Yeah. But for a big-time crook, you're pretty cheap. You used a disappearing half-credit coin. When you gypped the company on that spaceophone call, we, got your number.
An exciting action preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure in just a moment. Space Patrollers, you all know what sound effects are. You hear them all the time on your radios. But listen to these musical sound effects and see if you can guess what we're doing with Rice Checks and Wheat Checks. Yep, Space Patrollers, that's a big bowl filling up with Rice Checks or Wheat Checks. Man, oh man, it even sounds delicious. It tastes better yet. Those triple oven toasted biscuits are tops for taste. Now we're pouring on the cream. Listen, you can almost hear those crisp, crunchy checks filling up with that cream. And then for the first bite. Wow, what a bite! Sized just right, because checks are made of that modern bite-sized design. Makes them tops for size. Hey, that's you blasting off for a big day of action. After a good nourishing breakfast with checks, the cereal's tops for get up and go. So, gang, go get Rice Checks today. Get Wheat Checks, too, the official bite-sized cereals of the Space Patrol, in the red and white checkerboard package with the picture of Commander Corey or Cadet Happy on the outside. Rice Checks, Wheat Checks. And now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy are walking through a warehouse at the Terra Spaceport where two suspected criminals are standing by the controls of a loading train.
That's his anchor, all right, Commander.
Yes, I'm going to just how much of that cargo up there on the train is stolen.
Probably plenty of it. Uh-oh, he sees us.
Just a minute, Van Car.
Lieutenant, release that holding brake and drop the load down there.
Look out, Hap! Move!
Be sure to join us next week for the thrilling story, Formula for Crime, when Rice Checks and Wheat Checks again present Space Patrol. Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston, produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Helen Moser. Other players were Bela Kovac, Norman Jelly, Ken Mayer, and Stephen Robertson. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when Rice Checks and Wheat Checks present exciting action on Space Patrol. This program is broadcast for armed forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network. Rice Checks and Wheat Checks, the bite-sized cereals in the red and white checkerboard packages, present Space Patrol. High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol. In today's transcribed Space Patrol adventure, Buzz and Happy are walking through a warehouse at the Terra spaceport where two suspected criminals are standing by the controls of a loading train.
That's Sanker, all right, Commander.
Yes, I wonder just how much of that cargo up there on the train is stolen.
Probably plenty of it. Uh-oh. He sees us.
Just a minute, Sanker.
Release that holding brake. Drop the load down there.
Look out, Hap. Move! We'll return in just a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, Formula for Crime. The winner by unanimous decision, Rice Checks! Yes, sirree, Space Patrollers. Rice Checks is a 3-count winner. Tops them all 3 ways. Tops for taste. Sunny Gold shredded rice toasted 3 times for that luscious, fresh-from-the-oven flavor. A triple treat, a super treat, out of your breakfast bowl, out of the red and white checkerboard box for snacks. Tops for size. Bite-sized biscuits, modern in design. 3D because they're hollow inside, filled right up with milk or cream. Streamlined for easy, breezy eating. Tops for get up and go. The kind of get up and go that helps to make you a winner by a wide margin. A real Space Patroller like Commander Corey and Cadet Happy. So, gang, why don't you win with a winner? Start eating Rice Checks right now. For breakfast, out of the bowl. For snacks, out of the box. Be a go-getter. Go get Rice Checks. And for a neat whole wheat treat, go get Wheat Checks. Bite-size and power-rich. A real winner because it's tops for taste, tops for size, tops for get up and go. Look for Rice Checks and Wheat Checks in the red and white checkerboard boxes with the picture of Commander Corey or Cadet Happy on the outside. And now, today's Space Patrol adventure, Formula for Crime. Are you in the market for Jupiter Jade? Are you trying to locate a set of Martian silverware? You need a pair of horns from a Venus water buffalo. Then one visit to the office of Interplanet Procurement Corporation will solve your problems. At least so is the claim of Eric Zanker, president of the firm. If you ask Mr. Zanker what channels he uses or what methods he employs to obtain these out-of-the-ordinary items, he will smile mysteriously and murmur something about trade secrets. At this moment, in his office on Terra, Eric Zanker is not smiling, and his tone, as he speaks to chemist Gant Hanlon, is pitched somewhat above a murmur.
You're an idiot, Conlon. If you think the Space Patrol was following you, why did you come here?
Now, wait a minute, Mr. Zanker. Let me finish. I'm only following your orders, Mr. Zanker. You told me to come here and report as soon as I found out how Alpha Chemical was shipping out that vitrolytic acid.
Just be careful, Conlon. Did you get that information?
It's all written down. I've marked the best point in and kept the shipment.
Good. I'll work out a plan of attack later. Now, about this special formula.
One of the lab chemists was working on it several months ago. He's got it locked up.
If it will do what you say it will, we've got to have it at any cost. When you bribe this girl, this Mardis Rendell?
Let me work on it, Zanker. I'll come up with something.
In the experimental laboratory of the Alpha Chemical Company, Gant Hanlon waits until the other technicians have left. Then he speaks to Mardis Rendell.
I'm going to knock off for dinner. How about you, Mardis?
Thanks. I'll work a while longer, Mr. Conlon.
Here's the time an hour already. Take 30 minutes. Stockholders of Alpha Chemical will never miss me.
I happen to be interested in this experiment, Mr. Conlon. I can't leave now. I'm right at a critical point in this test.
Yeah, that's the trouble with these models. They're always at a critical point. What about that experiment you were working on 2 weeks ago? You worked night after night on your own time, then shelved it. All that time wasted digging your way into a blind alley.
In pure research, Mr. Conlon, there are no blind alleys. Behind every blank wall is a new truth.
Yeah. And while you're tearing down blank walls, the front office is yelling, "Get on with the project." That discovery of yours, the one you locked up, what was it about?
I'd rather not discuss it right now, Mr. Conlon.
It's a new chemical, one that can deaden the higher centers of the brain.
Why, isn't it unethical to read someone else's private lab notes, Mr. Conlon?
Look, kid, I'm on your side. You got a gold mine there. Turn it over to the psychiatrist and you can make a fortune.
It hasn't been thoroughly tested. And anyway, I'm working for Alpha Chemical. The discovery isn't mine to sell.
If it belongs to Alpha Chemical, why don't you turn the data over to the front office? Why hold out on it?
I'm not holding out. I discovered Formula G3...
Formula G3K. What?
I see you know my private code. Well, all right. I discovered Formula G3K by accident while I was working on another project. But it's potentially dangerous. Until I find a way to control its effects, I'm keeping it locked up.
But, Martis, as a scientist, it isn't your responsibility to invent a remedy for the possible bad effects of your discovery.
Is it your responsibility to tell me my responsibility?
Now you're just getting pig-headed. That's the thanks I get for trying to tell you how it makes the
Mr. Conlon, I'm frankly not interested in real money, as you call it. Not on Formula G3K.
I think you really mean that. All right, Martis, be a company girl. Let your brains and youth and good lucks boil away in those test tubes and beakers. Someday you'll wish you listened to me. I'm going out to get something to eat.
The following morning in Space Patrol headquarters on Terra, Commander Corey receives a visit from Martis Randall.
Yes, Miss Randall. I've received a report on the fire and explosion in the Alpha Chemical Company lab. Happy you find that delivered.
Yes, sir.
As I recall, Miss Randall, the report listed the cause as accidental.
That's what the lab superintendent decided, Commander.
And you think differently, Greta?
I don't know. When I came to work this morning and saw the damage, it looked like an accidental fire.
Here it is, Commander.
The report says probable cause, defective wiring and temporary test circuit. Failure of thermostat control. Exact cause undetermined due to almost total destruction of laboratory. It's signed by your lab superintendent and our inspector.
They could be right. Perhaps I'm making things complicated.
Go on, Miss Randall.
Well, there was a metal cabinet in the lab where I kept some private records and chemicals. The heat had damaged the inside of the cabinet, exploded most of the containers.
Yes?
I think something is missing from that cabinet.
Not destroyed by heat, just plain missing.
That's right, Commander. You see, I've been working privately on a substance I call Formula G3K. If used properly by doctors and psychiatrists, it could be of great benefit to science.
How?
It deadens the higher control centers of the brain without affecting the sensory or the motor nervous system. Under the influence of this chemical, a person would behave on a purely emotional basis. He would react according to basic instincts or his conditioned reflexes.
The doctor could tell how a person wants to react, or how he would react if he weren't held back by reason or passion.
Exactly. It could be a quick way to determine personality conflicts.
You mean if I wanted to slug somebody, I'd go right ahead and do it and not worry about what people would think?
Well, that's a good, rough example.
Naturally, a doctor would never like to get into trouble.
Oh, no. But in the wrong hands, this chemical could be used for evil purposes. Its effects make a person subject to suggestion.
And they do things against their better judgment.
Yes. For a time, their better judgment wouldn't exist. And that's why I kept Formula G3K a secret, until I found a way to control it.
Miss Randall, you think someone may have stolen this formula and started the fire in an attempt to cover up the theft?
Yes, I do.
Who else besides yourself knew about that formula?
One of the lab technicians. Only last night he tried to talk me into selling it. He got rather angry when I refused.
What's this man's name?
Conlon. Gant Conlon. But I have no proof that he did anything wrong.
But don't worry, Miss Randall. We'll check up on Gant Conlon. He's innocent. He hasn't anything to fear.
At the office of the Interplanetary Procurement Corporation, behind locked doors, Gant Conlon shows a notebook to Eric Zanker. Before them, on the desk, is a plastic bottle containing a violet-colored liquid.
Well, there you are, Mr. Zanker. Complete facts of the formula. G3K. How to use it, what it does, and how to make it.
That's fine, Conlon. But will it be missed? That's quite important, you know.
You should see that lab. After I took what I wanted out of the cabinet, I fixed things so that accidental fire would destroy it.
Good. Now, how do we administer this stuff? And skip the scientific details.
An ordinary ultrasonic intruder will do the trick. Unless the victim sees the gadget, he won't even know what's happening.
And we'll do anything we tell him after the treatment?
Just read Martis Randall's experiments. Formula G3K will make him tell us anything we want to know or perform any act we suggest right away.
Before we put it into practical use, I want to make a few tests. And Mars will be an ideal place.
Why Mars?
First, because it's several million views from Corey's headquarters here on Terra. Second, because one of my ships is now being loaded at the spaceport. When it's ready to blast off for Mars, we'll be aboard.
Buzz and Happy are walking through warehouse number 5 at the Terra spaceport. Cargo is being hoisted from platforms by giant loading cranes and placed on cargo trucks that will take them to waiting space freighters.
It sure is a busy place, Commander. The man didn't know his way around. He could get hurt awful easy.
Keep inside the yellow line. You'll be okay. This is Section 4 we're passing now. The next one is Anchor.
Maybe Martis Randall's suspicions of Conlon weren't wrong after all. Funny that he'd be having so many dealings with Zanker when Conlon's just a lab technician for Alpha Chemical.
There's Anchor, Happy, standing on a platform up ahead. While I'm talking to him, you take that list and check the cargo.
Yes, sir. With Zankor personally supervising the loading, he's probably got some hijacked stuff in there.
One more truckload out to do it, Conlon. Then we can blast off for Mars.
Where's the train operator?
He's knocked off for a few minutes. Anyway, that's our last load out there.
Hanging from the train?
Yeah. When the next empty truck pulls out, we lower the load and the job's finished.
Believe me, I'll be glad when we blast off for Mars.
Come. Turn this way, quick.
No.
Looks like trouble. Here comes Corey and the cadet.
We better get out of here.
Wait. If we run now, they have us for sure.
What are we going to do? Since they aren't here to invite us for a lunch, the officers...
Just take it easy. Look, a few more steps and they'll be right under the crane. There's about 6 tons of cargo out there, right over their heads.
Mac, are you crazy?
Shut up! Get out of the way. All I've got to do is release this holding brake and the load drops.
Look, I'm getting out of this right now. I never figured
You're in this with me. In a couple of seconds, we'll both get it on.
Franco, I want to talk to you.
Here it goes!
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment.
This is Dick Tufeld reporting on the twin-jet Air Force fighter, the McDonnell Voodoo XF-88A. In a moment, we'll hear from the noted test pilot who flies this plane, Phil Houghton. Speed of the Voodoo is a military secret, but it's plenty fast. Wingspan is 40 feet, length 55, weight 10 tons. And now, Phil Houghton recorded at Lambert Airfield.
After seeing the Voodoo, I guess you know why I like my job. There's one thing about it, though. The test pilot has to stay in good condition, get lots of sleep, and eat good, healthy food. That's why I like rice checks and wheat checks for breakfast. They've got plenty of energy in them, and they really taste well. I think you'll like them, too.
Make sure you stay in condition the way Phil Houghton, J. Ray Donahue, Jr., and other top test pilots do. Every morning, eat a good, nourishing breakfast with rice checks or wheat checks, the cereals that are tops 3 ways. Tops for taste, for size, for real get up and go. That's checks, rice or wheat. Remember, they're tops with America's top pilots.
And now back to our Space Patrol adventure, Formula for Crime. Buzz and Happy go to a warehouse at the Terra spaceport, where Zanker is supervising the loading of a spaceship. As the space patrollers walk under a loading crane, Zanker releases the holding brake, and the 6-ton load of cargo hurtles down upon them.
That's Zanker, all right. We'll have
Look
to...
out, Hap! Ooh!
The rocket. If you hadn't pushed me out of the way, I'd be under that mess.
You're okay, Happy. Let's get Zanker.
Yes, sir. Hey, he's gone.
He can't be very far away.
What's that?
The emergency alarm.
Somebody must have turned it in when the cargo dropped.
Zanker deliberately tried to drop that load on us.
The whole warehouse is in an uproar. Look, people are rushing in all directions. We'll never find Zanker in this mess.
Get to a phone, Happy. I'll alert Space Patrol headquarters. Come on.
A few hours later, at Space Patrol headquarters, Buzz and Happy stand by for reports from the Space Patrol agents who are searching the spaceport and other parts of Terra for Zanker and Conlon.
Nothing on either of them yet, Hap.
Zanker must have got away from spaceport before we could alert the guards.
At least they can't leave the planet. Space Control has orders to have every private freight and passenger ship checked before clearing for blast off.
I wonder who it was with Zanker.
I don't know. I've got 3 men watching Zanker's office. If he or anybody else shows up, they'll be mad. Space Patrol headquarters, Commander Corey here.
This is Martis Randall. I'm afraid I gave you a wrong lead yesterday in regard to the fire at the laboratory.
About Conlon, you mean?
Yes. He's not the man you're looking for.
Perhaps not, but he keeps some pretty strange company for an honest chemist. How do you know Conlon is in the clear?
I have some new information, Commander.
All right, let's have it.
I can't give it to you over the phone. I'll explain in detail when you get here.
When I get there.
It's very urgent, and I can't come to your office.
Where are you?
At my home, 618 Orion Way. It's just 2 blocks west of Terra Boulevard. I can't possibly tell you any more right now. I just have to talk to you personally. Right away. Another hour may be too late.
All right, Miss Randall. I'll be there in 15 minutes. Corey out.
I wonder what she found out. She didn't sound excited or in danger.
What I've seen of her, Martis Randall seems pretty level-headed and confident. Something's wrong. Better get over there. Have you stay here in case we get a lead on Zanker.
Yes, sir.
I'll check back with you from Miss Randall's case.
Come in, Commander.
Thank you, Miss Randall.
It was good of you to come so quickly.
It certainly was, Commander. Get your hands up.
Thanks.
Yes. Just remember there are 2 ray guns covering you. This one and one in the next room.
What's the setup here, Miss Randall? Are you in the Zanker?
I am the Zanker?
Marty, sit down. Sit down and remain quiet.
Yes, Zanker.
What have you done to her?
Have you ever heard of Formula G3K?
Got her under the influence of that chemical.
Exactly. And you're next. Conlon.
Yeah.
Come in here and bring the infuser.
So you're Conlon. You were with Zanker at the warehouse.
That's right, Corey.
I've got quite a score to settle with both of you for what you tried to do to Happy and me.
Conlon, I'll keep him covered while you use the infuser on him.
Roll up your sleeve, Corey. This won't hurt a bit. Come on, let's have that arm.
Sure. You're not going to shoot that stuff into me.
Zanker, get him off me. Use the ray gun. No, it would put him out too long. Break loose, Zanker.
Drop that gadget, Conlon.
Zanker, do something. Let him. This jam will slow him down. There.
Nearly broke my wrist.
Never mind that. Pick up the infuser. I want Corey under control when he comes to.
All right. I'm not sure the chemical will work on her.
Of course it will. Now, Martis, you just sit there and keep quiet.
Yes, Zanker.
Corey's arms are ready. Use the infuser.
Okay.
It's very neat, this ultrasonic infuser. Doesn't even break the skin or leave a mark.
I think he's coming to.
Good. We'll give the chemical time to take effect. Then we'll give him his instructions.
Space Patrol headquarters, Commander Corey's office. Cadet Happy here.
Happy, this is Commander Corey.
Yes, sir. Everything all right?
Everything's under control, Happy. Now listen carefully. Go to the spaceport immediately and see that Terra 5 is ready to blast off.
Yes, sir. Where are we going?
I'm going alone, Happy. Just learned something very interesting. I'll tell you about it when I get back.
Fine, Commander.
For the time being, no one is to know about this flight. No one, understand?
Yes, sir.
I'll give special instructions to Space Control when I get to the spaceport. Now, one more thing. I've got an errand for you to run. There are some papers in file H7 on the Henderson case. Take them to the Research Records Division and have 6 microfilm copies made of them.
Research records. That's in the Michelson building on the south side of the city, isn't it?
Right. Wait there until the job's done, and deliver those microfilms to the first 6 addresses on the distribution sheet. Got that?
Yes, sir, but I thought the Henderson case was...
I'm in a hurry, Hap. Just follow orders.
Yes, sir. I'll go to the spaceport right away and check the ship.
Fine, Hap. Corey out.
Half an hour later, at the Terra spaceport, Commander Corey strides toward the Terra 5. With him are 2 men who walk close to Buzz, watching him carefully as he returns the salutes of various Space Patrol personnel. The men engage in light conversation, masking their tenseness, until they board the spaceship and close the hatch.
Well, worst of it's over, Zanker.
Yeah. All right, Corey. Get to the controls and blast off.
I'll check with space control.
You are making a special flight to Mars, to Lobo City. Is that clear?
Perfectly. This flight is to be logged under secret operations until further official notice.
Jack. All right, get busy.
You trust me?
Sure. Can you handle that call to the cadet just as I instructed? With the G3K and him, he'll follow orders to the letter.
I hope so. I still think we should have brought the girl home, though.
What for? She served her purpose. The way we tied her up in her apartment, we'll be safely away from her long before she gets loose.
It's a great idea, you're making Corey take us in his own ship.
Sure. And even if we had been recognized, who's going to interfere with the business of the Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol?
Commander Corey aboard Terra 5 calling Space Control.
Space Patrol here. Go ahead, Commander.
Request permission to blast off immediately. Destination Mars.
Space Lock number 2 is clear, sir.
Log this flight under secret operations file until further notice. Enter 2 unidentified civilian passengers under technical Space Patrol custody as per Regulation 185-D.
Very good, Commander. May blast off when ready. Space Control out.
Great. When we're clear of Terra, we'll order Corey to change vector for Jupiter's fourth moon. High rockets, Corey! Corey doesn't know it's coming, but this is his last flight.
Cadet Happy stands before the door of an apartment at 618 Orion Way. On his face, an expression of worried indecision, for he has deliberately disobeyed an order from Commander Corey. Finally, his mind made up, he knocks at the door.
Who is it?
Cadet Happy. Is Commander Corey there?
No.
Will you open the door? I want to talk to you.
Come in.
It's locked. I say it's locked. You'll have to let me in.
I can't. I'm tied up.
You mean you're busy?
No, tied up with rope.
Smoking rockets. Why didn't you say so? Miss Randall. Miss Randall, what happened? Who did this?
Danforth and Conlon.
Where's Commander Corey? Wasn't he here? Miss Randall, answer me. Where's the commander?
I don't know.
Well, look, you called the commander at his office. Then he called me. Did he call from here?
I don't know.
Now, look, don't be afraid, Miss Randall. No one's going to hurt you. Where are Zanker and Conlon?
They've gone to Mars.
Mars? They made the commander take them. They made him phone me and get the ship ready, right? Well, you said they were going to Mars. Now, whereabouts on Mars? Lowell City? Come on, tell me.
No, they're not going to Mars. They're going to Jupiter's fourth moon.
Let's have it straight, Miss Randall. Which is it?
It's wearing off now. I can tell you the truth.
What's wearing off?
The formula G3K. They gave something in to the commander with an ultrasonic infuser, and they had us under complete control.
All right, they're making the commander take them to Jupiter number 4. You're sure of that?
Yes. They've got a ship hidden there. When they land, they're going to destroy the Terra 5 and commander.
Not if I can help it. I'm going to get a ship and blast off after them.
But they've got a half-hour start.
Well, chances are they set a vector from Mars to make it look good. By the time they correct it to a vector for Jupiter 4... Look, every second counts. You're free now. I'm getting to the spaceport.
That's Moon 4, all right. What's your viewscope reading, Corey?
50,000 DUs.
His anchor will be there in less than an hour.
Yeah. Oh, come back here, Conlon. I want to talk to you.
Okay, what is it?
When Corey lands, you make sure our ship is ready to blast off. Then I'll finish Corey. Conlon, look at the rear viewscope.
What's on that tail? It's a Space Patrol cruiser.
One of Corey's men must have got suspicion. Well, it's too late to back out now. Commander.
Yes?
There's a ship approaching directly behind us. Fire your rear space torpedo gun.
Fire? On that ship? Fine.
You will destroy that ship immediately. Set the rangefinder. That's it.
Gonna do it.
Now, fire.
It missed. Zanker, he double-crossed us.
No, I think it's the G3K. The chemical is making him obedient, but it's affecting the higher reasoning center of his brain. He made a mistake. Corey, fire again.
Space Patrol Cruiser T-65 calling the Terra 5. Zanker, I've alerted Jupiter Space Patrol. Play it smart and surrender.
Cadet Happy.
Corey, don't touch the spaceophone.
Commander, if you can hear me, listen. This is Happy. If they're ordering you to fire on the ship off your stern, resist.
This is a Space Patrol ship. Do you understand? You're under the influence of a chemical. Formula G3K. Fight it.
Happy, but what's he telling me?
Commander, fire! That's not Happy. You ordered him to stay on Terra, remember?
It's Cadet Happy.
Then he disobeyed your orders. He must be punished. Fire that torpedo. That's it. This time you won't miss.
You're right, Dankler. This time I won't miss. Now then for your neck.
Cadet Happy to Commander Corey. Listen to me, please.
Corey here. Everything's under control, Happy.
Oh, what a relief. What about Dankler and Thomas?
They won't be giving us any more trouble. I hope that torpedo didn't scare you too much.
Who do I thank for the bad marksmanship?
Me. The chemical was wearing off. Your voice really snapped me out of it, Hap.
That's good. I didn't know what to do.
How did you happen to take off after us?
Well, it was what you told me about the Henderson file. That case was closed weeks ago, and yet you told me to chase all over town with useless microfilm. I took a chance and checked with Martis Randall.
Is he all right?
Yes, sir. How come you picked the Henderson file, anyway?
It's lucky I did, but it wasn't intentional. If the G3K formula hadn't deadened my reasoning ability, I might have sent you on a plausible errand. Oh, by the way, under regulations, I can't ignore the fact that you did disobey orders.
No, sir, I guess not.
And according to Regulation 145W, the form of punishment is left to the discretion of the commanding officer.
I understand, sir.
Very well. Your punishment will consist of a 7-day special duty at the Space Patrol Recreation Camp at Lake Azure on Venus. You'll swim, hike, fish, or play ball not less than 1 hour each day, and that, Cadet, is an order.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
An action preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure in just a moment. Hi, Space Patrollers. This is Captain Tufeld.
And Cadet Happy.
I'm reporting to you on Rice Chex.
And I'm reporting to you on Wheat Chex.
Rice Chex. Triple toasted spreaded rice biscuits that taste mighty good. Tops for taste. That's Rice Chex.
Wheat Chex. Boy, they've got a swell whole wheat flavor that can't be beat. Tops for taste. That's Wheat Chex, too.
And Rice Chex are made in that modern, bite-sized design for easy eating. It's tops for size. That's Rice Chex.
Wheat Chex are bite-sized for super easy eating. Tops for size, too.
And after a good, nourishing breakfast with Chex, rice, or wheat, you'll see their tops for get up and go.
Real Space Patrol get up and go like the Commander has.
Chex, the good word to remember at breakfast time or any time because
they're tops 3 ways: for taste, size, and get up and go.
So look for the red and white checkerboard packages with the picture of the Commander or
the swell picture of me on the outside.
Rice Chex,
Wheat Chex.
And now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy are aboard the Terra 5 out in space. Joined to the airlock is another ship whose pilot has identified himself as a Space Patrol agent.
Maybe the break we need, Commander. Maybe this agent can tell us where to locate Zorba, that spy ship from Tirana.
You'll know in a minute, Hap. Our man's in the airlock.
Get your hands up, both of you.
Zorba. Let's get him, Hap.
I warned you not to move. Oh, yeah. That paralyzer ray will prevent any more nonsense. You are prisoners of war, captives of Tirana.
Be sure to join us next week for the thrilling story, Shipment to Tirana, when Rice Chex and Wheat Chex again present Space Patrol. Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston, produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Helen Moser. Other players were Virginia Hewitt, Bela Kovach, and Ken Mayer. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when Rice Chex and Wheat Chex present exciting action on Space Patrol. This program is broadcast for our armed forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network.